as I was saying, Jared just recently qualified for CNAS very quickly, and we apologize for the rough start with getting the stream set up. There was a very, very fast turnover. Today is one of our more hectic days with the 3 big sessions and the majority of our lifters competing. So we apologize for any technical difficulties there, and we appreciate your patience. And Samantha here on platform 1, 125 keys for her opener.
Well, easy squat of passion, starting us off with 217.
2 white lights.
And Alex from Midland, oh my goodness, 250 for an equip. Sinking that.
Sink.
That is very
Beautiful.
commendable in wraps.
Very much so, especially since that we've seen in the previous session where equipped lifters have been squatting a little bit high, so they are missing their first couple attempts. But Alex came out there and he really showed those national level referees what he could do.
I'm seeing a good amount of Inzer knee sleeves in the not beating the equipped allegations whenever you're wearing Inzers nowadays, now that they seem to have adopted the stiffer knee sleeve style.
Yeah, I mean, Ben was talking about this earlier today. I mean, when you're as a raw athlete, stiff doesn't always mean better. I mean, it does depend on the athlete, especially if you're someone who is trying to get, you know, already struggles reaching depth. Having a stiffer knee sleeve can really get in the way. And but yeah, we're seeing a good range of sleeves. We have the Inzer knee sleeve,
Helix.
A7, Helix as well.
I know SBD has come into the stiff sleeve market.
For sure. Now, for those wondering at home, are knee sleeves cheating? You know, if I give my my sister getting into powerlifting my knee sleeves, will she suddenly squat 800 pounds?
Well, she wouldn't suddenly squat 800 pounds, not necessarily.
If she was wearing A7, she possibly could. There's no doubt about
Shout
that.
out A7 once again.
A7 rigor mortises. Did you know that A7 just came out with their new deflection collection? You can get it now at a7.co.
Definitely will be checking out A7's new collection. I gotta go look at their stand they have here.
I know personally all the rage with A7 for me recently is the KWD shorts. I don't know if these are, but I know Lilia and a couple of the other Georgia Tech lifters are humongous fans of them.
Yeah.
And I've heard their utmost comfort, perfect gym shorts, perfect even just walking around shorts. So.
They've entered the below 5-inch inseam market. That is dangerous.
Very
competitive
very
market. And now lifting is fully underway on all four platforms. Dominic, I believe from Tennessee, taking 222.5 keys for his opener.
Hunter with 245 blew that up. No problem for him.
We have a very large squat. Don't mean to cut you off. A very large squat of 265 from Larry, representing UTSA on platform 3.
Dominic on platform 2. Big brace A7. Oh, setting it down. Some difficulties with, and he looks like he's going to run out of time.
He is going to time out here.
Very unfortunate. Probably optimal to just set the bar down, understand that your first squat is a wrap. Pausing it at the bottom.
Pausing it at the bottom.
That's impressive
that
to pause
is
for.
Very impressive.
Don't know if that was intentional.
And got a white light. Interesting. He'll come back and smoke that on the second. Hopefully this time with enough time and not pausing it.
What you might see is, I know we saw this at the Georgia State's meet for sure, but sometimes athletes will start pausing their squats in the bottom of the hole if they notice that depth calls are a little more strict on the day. We haven't seen it so far.
I think that is counterintuitive. I tend to be a little higher when I pause because I want to be more controlled. Each inch lower that I go has a bit more friction, so
Agreed.
I'm not sure about the philosophy there, but you know, to each their own. To each their
own, of course. Here's Andres Ruiz on platform 3, making light work of 265 for his opener.
A great range here in terms of, as Brielle takes her opener here, in terms of how leverage impact the squat. Tommy making a very upright, almost high bar squat.
And Duncan here with very long femurs, he's going to have to be a little more bent over so that he can maintain his center of mass and still at depth, especially with knee wraps on.
For sure. And Brielle gets a good lift there. Joshua 270 here
Duncan taking his time and blowing it up out of the hole. A little difficult there at the end, but I think that should be a good lift for Duncan. And yes, it absolutely was. Very clean out of him.
Gabriel here from Auburn, another equipped lifter. He competed previously in the Southeastern Collegiate Cup this January. Very big squatter. And Riley taking 120 for her second as seconds are underway for this flight on platform 1.
Carson on platform 4, really wedging himself into that bar, making sure the bar position is stable. Any movement on your back while under 600 pounds, I can confirm, will mess up your squat pattern.
Oh, yeah. Last thing you want to do is feel all
Very
shaky
deep
and wobbly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to be very confident, which is why you'll see some of our lifters here take that double unrack, unrack it once. Very popularized by
Alex Lucko is where I picked it up from.
Yeah,
Alex Lucko, most
Perkins.
notably Austin Perkins when
Absolutely.
he made his Raw Nationals.
He doesn't do that anymore, though. So
Yep.
hopefully maybe people will stop. And once again, just to reiterate, this session includes women's 82.5 raw and men's 90 to 110 equipped athletes here. So very wide range. Again, as Ethan mentioned, you'll be seeing some very heavy weight, especially in the squat today. And yeah, this is very critical once more, especially for the equipped division where we're seeing a lot of movement changes, particularly in the earlier session. A lot of the non-podium teams are coming into the podium positions potentially with these placements. So the pressure is on. Teams are trying to secure some more points here.
The pressure is definitely on, especially when Northeastern's Zachary Fowler is about to squat 302.5 kilos. That is 666 pounds on his back. Ladies and gents.
Deep.
And it's a bit of a struggle on the way up.
Beautiful
the judges like
balance
it.
there.
Ian Carrington coming into some friction with his unrack. He did not get a start command.
Now,
Not sure what's
what are they
happening
looking
there.
for the start command, Ethan?
I know for me personally, I've gotten into some trouble with some unlocked knees before I start, so they're looking for those knees to be locked out, which I'm sure can be difficult. I've never tried wraps before, but if you were to maybe mess up the wrapping of it, that you could have some bent knees. They're looking for motionless. They don't want you to still be moving into your final standing position. I don't know if there's anything else. Do you have anything to add, Ben?
Nothing much to add. You actually covered most of the topics
Okay.
there. But yeah, the start cue is the most crucial point, because if you don't get that start cue within that minute, you'll be timed out and you'll be asked to put the bar back on the rack.
With the rack cue being the second most important, if you jump that, even if you hit what looks to be a perfect squat, locked out knees, locked out hips, if you rack that early, just a little too excited, you can still get 3 red lights. And that is actually for, I think, lifter and spotter safety. If you were to blow up a squat and then immediately walk it in without your spotters and loaders being ready to help put the bar away, that could lead to some dangerous situations. So I know it's, probably a hated rule to beginners, because I know as a beginner I messed that rule up, but it is a very important rule at the end of the day.
Very much so. Samuel Buckner blowing up 215. He's on to be having a day. He's very excited after that 215.
Getting into our 82.5 women's, Melina on platform 1 with 122.5 kilograms on her back. The all SBD fit belt, knee sleeves, and singlet. Calm second attempt there. Let's see what the judges say. Looks like 1 red. All you need is 2. Sure, she'll be going up a calm 5 to 7 kilos after that. That was a very solid second.
For sure. And here's 310 from Jackson, looking so easy with high bar.
Clean.
Very, very clean. 3 white lights.
Andrew Bourdreau, saying that correctly, I hope. A little better than UV, our French-Canadian.
Hey, it's a different French, all right? It's not the same French.
220, got the work there. He's walking off. Doesn't even need to see the lights. He knew that he got that, and he's going to go up for a large jump after that. I think there was a lot left in the tank.
On platform 2, we have I'm going to butcher this, Ramatai. I'm so sorry I butchered it, but he is taking a near 250 kilo squat here.
545 pounds on your back. The sacred 5.5 pound plates.
5.5 pound plates, yeah, exactly. And for those.
Ooh, a little wobble.
And we just learned that on platform 2, Ian will be getting a relift because there was an issue with the equipment in terms of the plate loading there. He will be getting an additional 2 minutes at the end of the flight. And again, these things can happen, especially when the spotters and loaders are trying to get everything loaded.
Doing hundreds of weight changes per hour. Yeah. I know I get tired doing 5 in an hour.
It happens. It happens. It's good to know they're adjusting for that.
Yeah.
And he has that extra time to rest up.
Giving the best experience for the lifters. You wouldn't want, as a lifter, to come in and have some variable external to yourself mess you up. So very, very good that he got that reattempt.
Yeah, and for sure, shout out again to our new communication. I mean, we are hearing this information almost directly, real time as it's happening.
Yeah.
And again, very well run. Shout out to Barbell Productions as well for doing the best to put on a very high level production effort from a technical standpoint. We appreciate it, and I'm sure all the athletes do as well. And I was going to ask, for those watching who are unfamiliar with what some of the equipment might be doing, not even just in equipped, but in raw lifting, having a belt, having wrist wraps. What is sort of the function of that, lifters who might not know?
So those knee sleeves are actually going to help protect you and also help you with the squat, right? Some of that restrictive fabrics will help you get a higher load rather than you are lifting without those knee sleeves. And that belt is going to help you obtain that intra-abdominal pressure, right? To help with that big bracing and have a strong core in order for you to put something like a 573-pound squat on your back from platform 3 with Christopher.
And we have just learned again on platform 2 another relift for Promothi. He is going to get a relift because his knee wraps were on for a whole 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And for those who are unaware, those knee wraps, stiff knee sleeves are already pretty uncomfortable to be in, but wraps are a different game, so he will be getting a relift as well at the end of the flight.
Joel Chong of Trueborn Strong has a fun time putting knee wraps on unequipped lifters and then giving them bruises on the back of their knees after just doing one warm-up squat. Been involved, I believe.
I am unfortunately a victim of Joel Chong. This is me speaking up against his crimes. Being with those wraps on, I've lost blood circulation to my toes mid-squat. But it's okay because instant relief as soon as he took them off. I can't believe the uncomfortableness that Promothi had to go through.
3 minutes in those.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, big shout out to our equipped athletes here. It's not easy being in that gear and being uncomfortable. And as we see here, Tyrone on platform 4, very good second attempt there.
And as you saw, the time ran out, but that does not matter because he got the start command before it timed out, which means doesn't matter. He can take as much time as he wants after the start command.
Here's Emily Ferguson going for 140. Even though after missing 132.5, she's confident enough to go take that 7.5 kilo jump.
Beautiful depth. So if depth was the issue on the first attempt, it was not an issue there. That was amazing.
And again, a lot of our athletes here using wrist wraps, even some A7 wrist wraps in particular. I think a lot of that is just because, when you're getting your back into that sort of position, you want to get the ball into a very comfortable spot. And now, as we mentioned, Ian taking his first relift, sinking it.
Beautiful out of him. And that's so stressful because I know
Right.
I can be stressed if I were to have to take a relift in easy, soft sleeves just because of the hype dump off that happens. Doing that 3 times in an hour is a lot. Some are taking ammonia. They're getting slapped in the back. He's out there, ready to just blow up some heavy weight, and having to retake that, especially in wraps, in a squat suit, in probably stiffer wrist wraps than I'm using, would have to be absolutely mentally draining. So let's see if he's able, him and Promethi are able to fight through and, you know, hit 3 for 3, or it seems 3 for 4 here.
Agreed. They're still in this. Let's see how he does here.
Alexander Craig going for 262.5.
Yes, sir.
Blows it up on platform 3.
Lauren
Looking good.
in the A7 black and white singlet.
That's one of my favorite singlets. One of my lifters has the black and white A7, and it is just very clean looking. I am probably going to be investing in the A7 market soon for a singlet myself.
I'm investing in the A7 market.
I went up a weight class, and my old singlets no longer fit. I'm a little bit of a fat boy recently, so I'm in the singlet market, and honestly, that black and white A7 is looking appetizing.
So. And also, a huge shout out to A7 for all their custom designs. They do a lot with schools too. You'll see here a lot of custom school singlets are A7 sponsored. So.
That's true, including Georgia Tech barbell singlets that we have gotten last year, a couple of them.
Of course, yeah. Very good design. And some switch up on platform 2 again.
Yeah, Promethi was in the knee wraps for 3 minutes. Again, so he's getting a reattempt, and I'm sure after those 3 minutes, he might be dealing with a little bit of pain. So his handlers are probably taking their time, making sure that everything is nice and tidy for his opening attempt squat.
Brielle, very good second. 3 whites. She is having a blast so far, and looks like she'll be on pace for a very strong 3rd attempt.
Very strong from Duncan at platform 4.
Yeah, Duncan's opener had some struggle at the end, so if he's able to hit this 262, that's an incredible 7.5 kilos. Took that from absolute thin air. That was amazing stuff out of him.
And you know, sometimes with these lifters, again, we talk about the mental aspect. As we might colloquially say, you just have to lock in, and just getting in that headspace can really make the difference between you know, a very good lift and a very bad lift.
Yeah.
So
here's Promethi on platform 2. He had the extra time after having to have his knee wraps on for so long. Hopefully that does not take too much of a toll, and this very heavy 545-pound opener is going to be light work for him.
Riley, yeah, with the head nod, she fights through that 3rd. Looks like it'll be a good lift. Let's see what the judges say.
Oh, no.
2-1.
She could contest this. She could contest it.
So deep from Promethi. Yes, sir. Amazing.
Amazing comeback.
3 white lights for Promethi. That is an incredible comeback after having to not take his first and do it at the end of the flight.
Exactly. Great way to bounce back.
That's some incredible mental fortitude because, again, I'm sure, like, 545 pounds is no joke. I'm sure he was getting smacked by his handlers, getting all hyped up just to not lift it and then come back and hit that at the end of the flight is some incredible stuff out of him.
For sure.
Excited to see where he ends up in the squat event.
As we're heading on to our 3rds here in platform 1, Erica, 130, taking a 7.5 kilo jump here. Let's see what she has.
In the Inzers.
Oh, bit of a grind from Erica.
The opposite of raw, or the opposite of equipped, sorry, on platform 2. He is in no knee sleeves, no belt. I'm going to assume no squat suit. I think he's probably dealing with an injury, maybe a week out, and just wants to come in. You know, he put in all this hard work, wants to just register a total, get that token lift.
Enjoy the moment. Maybe he'll have full effort on the bench press.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it is unfortunate how this sometimes happens. You get injured and it comes in the way, but it's good to know. You know, part of being a powerlifter and an athlete is having that grit and still showing up.
It's the grittiest sport I've ever been a part of. I was a swimmer before, and that takes a lot of grit. Kind of not being able to breathe as you're exerting is a difficult thing. But
we have a crazy jump on platform 4 with 205 being his first attempt to 310 kilos to being his 2nd attempt.
Man, man, that is equipped.
105 kilogram jump.
Looks like he's ready for it, though.
And that's a good.
He did not blink an eye at the extra red on, so I'm going to guess this is actually what he wanted to do.
3rds have not been successful so far on platform 1.
2s and 7s can look alike, so I can understand misloading there, but 2s and 3s don't often get mixed up, so. I think this is what he actually wants to take.
It's going to be a re-rec.
And it looks like he's going to time out. I'm not sure what happened there.
Drew taking 302.5 kilos on platform 3. Louisiana proud. And Sophia, let's see what she has as a result. And that's a good lift.
Yes,
First
sir.
third on that platform.
Yes, sir. Miles on platform 2 missed his opener, needs this to stay in the meet. Equipped lifter in the insers, sank that, easy up.
I believe that is a yellow and black A7 custom singlet. So shout out A7 once again.
Smoked 3 white lights. Honestly, he has a 20-kilo jump after that. I'm sure the opener must have been on depth.
On depth, yeah.
I think that one was most definitely depth, but you know, this is the national stage. We're going to have the strictest of judges. They're going to be looking at every single thing that they can critique and make sure that you're lifting to the competition standard, outlawed in the, or not outlawed, sorry, but written out in the USAPL rule book.
Hayden fighting for 220. And Hayden gets that lift, yes. Now, just as all of the athletes here have been vetted and have earned their spot to be at the national stage, people don't really recognize the judges as well have gone through a vetting process to hold up the refereeing to this standard. So, again, very warm thank you to our officiating staff here.
And I know it's difficult. I can't even judge depth for myself half the time. So judging for, you know, these hundreds of lifters, all with different leverages, with, you know, different equipment, it has to be hard to keep an eye out, especially if, you know, they're lifting quick or they're lifting slow. It's tough to expect what's going to go on. So having that eye of hours of training, that's really impressive stuff. So again, yeah, thank you judges. Thank you judges so much.
Samuel Buckner absolutely smokes his third attempt of 220. And up next we have Peyton Middies coming out to 317.5 on platform 3.
That is 700 pounds. It's called 699.9. I'm going to call it 700. Peyton Middies coming out to a monster squat, taking his time with the walkout. A big old brace. And blew it up. That is crazy.
Great squat from Peyton.
2 white lights, all you need. Incredible stuff out of him. He has another couple of kilos on him. Really, wow.
And we can get some context here on some of the past performances in some of these categories as Ford smokes 227.5. Last year we've seen the equipped 100-kilo category, Xavier hitting a 367.5 squat, 310 bench. 310 bench.
310 bench is crazy.
Pause. Did you say 310
I
bench?
did. And
683-pound bench press.
And a 323-kilo deadlift for a 918-kilo total.
That is
equipped at 100. Let's see if some of the lifters here today can get within that range.
The mythical 300 lifter we see.
Quite the split. I mean, that's just a testament to how insane a bench press you can get.
Yeah.
Here's Sophie Koepi going for 142.5, representing UCLA.
And now, you know, here you can see on the screen the raw women's rankings here. Again, the same 3 schools, but they're all very close, within 1 point of each other. So now this, already seeing how close the women's 82.5 raw class is, it's going to be very important to see how, you know, these small decisions handlers make for weight selection impacts the team placings in the bigger picture. So again, there's a lot at stake here. Just like Ben said before, it's not just the individual. There is a lot at stake in terms of how the school plays. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
And I know that the deadlift gets all of the love for deciding positions at the end, but there's still the squat on the bench where you have to kind of build up that subtotal to make it easier for yourself at the end of the meet. It's a lot easier to, you know, go 2.5 or 5 kg below your all-time PR and jockey for that position than numbers you've never touched before and you have to go and ball out. So these are still important lifts for the rankings in the women's raw team event.
Definitely. And all the numbers are very close so far. I have a feeling subtotals will also be pretty similar and grouped together as we head on. So
Zachary on platform 3 in the A7 rigor mortis right there.
Good catch from our spotters
Yeah.
and loaders. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be having this meet.
That's true.
Emily taking 147 here on platform 1.
7.5 kg jump after missing her
Very
opener.
controlled. Oh, unfortunately, not able to get that lift.
Emily has shown us some more of the extremes of knee valgus, right? The knee caving, but it honestly it helped her, right, for that second attempt. It got her that 140. But obviously, wanted to reiterate. I know I've said this in previous days, but don't worry. That knee caving, you know, it's natural. It helps certain lifters.
Lifters with those kind of more less hip mobility or the more internally rotated hips. It's where their strongest position is. And when you're out there lifting the heaviest weight, you want to be in your strongest position. So.
Olivia makes light work of 147.5.
Light work.
And that is a good lift.
Jonathan on platform 4, 245 kilograms. And he blew that up. Another lifter who it looks like he's essentially lifting raw. But with those stiff sleeves, some people will call it equipped. I think they're haters.
Okay, I'm going to clear the air here. I really don't think like stiff sleeves add up that much. I mean, I've heard people saying they can add up to 50 pounds on a squat.
Yeah, that's egregious. Yeah, that's egregious. It changes the way you squat for sure.
Let me put it this way. I think more credit has to be given to our athletes because it's not like throwing on sleeves will just make your squat blow up. So, again, credit to our athletes for putting in the work.
And a good save from our spotters and loaders on platform 3 on Mario Martinez.
Brielle here, 157.5.
Come on, Brielle. Come on.
Fight. She have it.
Fight.
That's
no.
Okay. She's fitted, though. The orange, all orange A7, that's a
Halloween A7 fit. And that concludes thirds for platform 1 for the flight. Only about half of them actually made their third squat, so it's really close.
Here's Ian on platform 2. If you remember, his opener had some weight sliding, and so he got to retake it at the end of the flight. Here he is on his second attempt.
And on platform 1, we will be having a guest lifter appear. Jenny Hernandez just barely missed weight. So,
what was the number? What was the number?
Her body weight was 83.19.
That's tough. No. That's about 1 pound. And so maybe if she woke up 1 hour earlier to either get in the sauna or sweat, that's makeable.
I mean, it happens. What that does mean is that you are now a guest lifter, so you will not be able to use your total to qualify, for example, for
a podium spot, which is important in the women's teams who is so close in that top end. 42, 41, and 40.
But still, as a guest lifter, you can still go out there and lift.
Show them what you got.
You've been prepping for months. You deserve to.
A lot of these athletes coming from around the country as well, investing a lot to travel. So
Hunter Sullivan on platform 4 with 584 pounds.
Come on, Hunter.
Nice.
Good struggle. That is a perfect third attempt. I don't think he had 266 in him today.
No.
I love watching perfect third attempt calls. That's one of my and 2 white lights, even more perfect, but like barely getting by what he needed. That's an incredible third attempt out of him.
Platform 2, another one of our lifters that had to retake their openers with a smoked 260. The energy is different now.
Line from Alexander on platform 3. He gets it up.
No lift on platform 2, unfortunately.
No. Like we saw earlier, the 2 out of 3 white lights. Perfect min-maxing. That's exactly what we're looking for.
Jenny Hernandez, no knee sleeves. She was our lifter that narrowly missed weight, coming out to 137.5 kilograms. I think that is 303 pounds, so she is opening with 300 pounds, which, you know, that is not something to scoff at.
Ooh, he also is not wearing knee sleeves.
Yeah, I said that.
I'm reiterating that.
Okay.
that is very impressive.
Pedro on platform 2, retaking his opener, which he missed. He's going to need this to stay in the meet. Calm, slow descent. Looks like he hit depth and blew it up. I would be surprised if this does not get 3 white lights, which it does. Good work, Pedro.
we're seeing more and more of the high bar coming out. And some drip I want to notice on platform 4 from Gabriel with the sunglasses. 272.5 on his back, 600 pounds.
Wow.
Gets it up.
And
That is
platform.
600 pounds.
That is
Wow,
crazy.
and Amy smoking her opener at 140.
3 white lights for Gabriel. And he's out. Oh my goodness, that's an excited man. I would stay out of his way.
Now,
If I were a wall, I'd be horrified right now. He's ready to run through you.
Griffin representing Pitt. He's here with 227.5, the Magic 500.
Yes, sir.
Let's
There.
go. You can't ask for a better third. That was very
Yeah.
well called.
Yeah. And 2 white lights.
Good lift.
We're min-maxers out here.
Oh, yeah, we're
Holden
Relifts here.
from the ULL, 285, and he is getting amped up. And we have 272 on platform 4 from Carson.
Krieger, 601 pounds. Missed it on his second. Let's see if he can get redemption. Nice and deep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
blew up.
Nice.
I think he just had to make the technical adjustment. And 2-1. Looks like the side judges, which have different angles than us, do not agree with the depth. That happens, especially in equipped lifting. It's tough to get low when you have such restrictive.
Holden, on the other hand, platform 3, ecstatic after hitting that 285. And now Andres taking another 285 stab after missing his second, I believe, one of the heaviest squats in this, in this platform.
628.
Again, part of UTSA, they are still there in that contention. I believe if we check
What
the
place?
rankings.
While
Now-
he looks at those, Alexander on platform 4, 277.5 kilos. And Andres on
Very
platform 3, 285. A little too much for him.
Olivia smokes her opener, but as I was mentioning, so UTSA, while they are in the podium spot in Raw, they are not in the podium spot for men's equipped. However, they are still within a reasonable distance, right behind UT Austin.
So here is Lane Healy, which perplexed us on his second attempt when he made a 105. That's a bench press for a lot of people.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
making a bench press jump from 205 to 310.
Michael here taking 237.5 on platform 2 as well. Very calm. Let's see what he has here in store. While Joshua gets ready for 287.5. Also ULL, platform 3.
Now, if you remember on platform 4 with Lane, he didn't even get a chance to squat it. He was told to re-rec, but was unfortunately timed out. Let's see if he can get it on this third attempt. Moving the rack with him.
Oh.
A great catch from our spotters.
Yeah. He still has time. It looks, I see 15, 14 seconds. He needs to sprint, getting ready under the bar. This is going to be a fight if he gets that start command. And he already had lockout issues. Spotters and loaders ready. Yeah, has to put it away. And that's tough because Texas A&M is in second place, and he is in second place, for men's equipped. And so that's a huge 105 kilograms to lose on your total.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
People usually make that up in the deadlifts, right? But 105 off the start
Yeah.
with squats.
I'm a big jump advocate, but I think maybe,
That's a very big jump.
yeah, especially, he didn't even get to attempt it the entire day.
No way.
I don't remember the second. But
Larry
Yeah,
for UTSA with 300 for his third. Is that a good lift? Oh,
Good
my
catch from our
goodness.
spotters and loaders on platform 2.
Jared Miller from KSU, a little too heavy for him.
But yeah, with Lane, unfortunately, with his second attempt, he had to re-rack multiple times, and same thing with the third attempt. It's unfortunate to see. I'm sure he had plenty to show us with that 310 squat.
Lindsay smokes her opener there, but it looks like a no lift, most likely on a depth call. And we have Ashley up next, 150, nearing the end of this flight as an opener from the University of Georgia. I cannot say go Dogs, but I'll give it.
I'll do it for you. Go Dogs. Let's go, Ashley.
We can still cheer for her, though.
Of course.
150, 331 pounds.
Big opener, and 302.5 for Drew on platform 3.
Grinds it out after missing on his second attempt.
3 white lights.
Oh my goodness, the Louisiana crowd is so loud.
You know what's also
Miles.
loud? Midland's proud. of Joseph, who's about to squat 252.5 for his opener.
Miles taking 240, also from pit.
For a third attempt.
It's big.
20 kilos from the second. He misses opener and retook, so I'm going to assume this is between his second and third, and that seems about right. I think he had a little more in the tank.
Yeah, let's see what the call is here. And Kenya also from UGA here, opening with 150.
I know I've seen a ton of people in the Collegiate Nationals handling and coaching community going to DNA, and Kenya is a DNA native. Yuvi, I think you're also a DNA native nowadays.
I am not as of yet.
Not as much.
I don't have my own method of transportation. However, I will say I was there. I just recently hit a squat PR at DNA, so I can't say anything bad about it. Great facility, though.
Shout out to Alex Waters. That is
sure.
an amazing gym.
Great facility.
Dominic on platform 2 at 245 for his third attempt squat after missing his opener. Looks like the depth was there. And let's see what the judges say. Beautiful recovery.
It's amazing seeing how hyped people get after hitting that third squat, you know. Ian.
His fourth attempt squat.
Fourth
today,
attempt, yeah.
After a little mishap on the opener. If he can dial in, this will be one of the more impressive feats I've seen in a long time.
Sure.
Meanwhile, I'm seeing a 330 kilo squat at 90 equipped from another powerhouse
Is
from
that where all
Midland.
that noise is coming from? Midland?
Oh.
Fortunately, doesn't make it.
80 taking 152.5 kilos for her opener.
One thing I'd like to point out, and I could be ignorant here, but I think with equipped lifting, a lot of the times it might look like it's not even close. But it's such a technical sport. Of course, strength is a part, but if anything is off, like a degree in any of your joints, you can go from blowing something up to just not even being close. So that was still a good attempt.
And yeah, to your point, Ethan, like, see with equipped lifting, as we're seeing right now on platform 2, you know, unable to get that third. I mean, they are actively fighting on the eccentric to build as much tension as possible against the equipment. Like you'll see in the bench press with the bench shirt especially, that can be very scary. It's definitely a whole beast of its own. So again,
it's already tight when your leg is extended, and now you're fighting against that material.
Yeah.
It will be shaky. It can be difficult. Arguably, sometimes harder than the way up.
Yeah.
As they blow it up and kind of work with the material rather than against it to lock out that weight.
And here we have another UTSA athlete showing respect to our spotters and loaders here. 275 for an opener. We're going to get into some 300 kilo.
Tommy Penner.
A little too heavy for Tommy. With the ultra upright, tiny, short little femur. I'm jealous of him. That's an equation for a big squat.
Big squat. But again, just because you're not well leveraged for a lift
doesn't mean you can't do it.
There, we've seen it over and over.
Julia in the all-white black A7 belt. That's a fit.
That is a fit. The all-white A7 fit. That's one of their more popular, more best-selling lines that's come out right now. And
one of my favorite models for that fit, Quentin from Trueborn. He has truly rocked that before.
White Power Ranger himself.
I like that, the white Power Ranger.
And she smokes 165.
Very well done.
So
and I believe
for her.
The University of Houston will be seeing a bunch of their lifters here today, soon in the night session as well.
Gabriel with 260, 573 pounds, misses opener, jump 15. Jump 5, sorry. Jump 15 from the second. And he hits that. Let's see what the judges have to say about that one. 3 white lights, not even close. Not even close.
Another custom Oregon
Nike
singlet here.
That is beautiful. And the light work of 240.
Oh my.
I believe raw, not using.
Yeah, it looks like the rigor mortis knee sleeves.
Correct. Very nice squat there. Alina starting off our seconds here. Another A7 enjoyer. I just really love the color diver. Like, there's so many colors that they have. It's almost like asking why they have that many colors, but you know what? Fashion lifting.
Yeah.
Fashion lifting.
And I like
Look
how
good,
Alina's
look good, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how Alina is mixing up the colorways, right? She goes with the gray singlet, but with the orange knee sleeves.
I like it.
I'm going to run some blue and pink, I think, maybe. Let's see how that looks.
Now, Paramit taking 260 again. He did miss it. This is also his 4th attempt squat.
260. Let's see if he can colloquially dial in.
Dial in.
And smoke this. Also colloquially.
Looks like
Good.
he hits the hole. Yes.
Wow.
There's
Gets
that.
the rack command eventually.
Yeah, I think we're all agreeing back here. That fan favorite here.
2 white
beating
lights.
the odds.
Oh my goodness.
And just like Ethan was saying, like that difference in that margin of error in technicality can change how that second looked versus how the third looked.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he starts it all off with, before even his first attempt squat, just losing all of the circulation in his knee from just sitting there with the wraps on for 3 entire minutes, which may not sound long, but that can be an eternity when you're in, I'm sure, that much pain.
I really hope he can wriggle his toes right after that one. Honestly, because I wouldn't be able to wiggle them at all. Here's Pedro on platform 2, looking to take 267.5. Crowd's cheering on Rachel Wilkie, looking to take 147.5 for her second time on platform 1.
The mythical 315 for her. Or, no, that's so incorrect. 325, I'm sorry.
She does so much more than 315.
Yeah,
Ethan,
she's a
come
beast.
on.
That's my fault. Beautiful squat of Rachel. Arguably, she has another 10, I think easily. 3 white lights for her, as expected. Roan on platform 4 with his opening 317, 700 pounds as an opener.
That's a
as
double take
100.
there.
Yeah. I was like, oh, 217, that's called 317.
317.
No, my favorite thing is one that with the heavier squats, you'll see the bar just wiggle at the top.
Yeah, with our TSS power bars, I have this experience. I think they're slightly more bendy than the Ohio Powers, which were used previously, but I think the thinner TSS plates, which I'm a huge fan of personally, I think the silver looks tough. They're a little thinner, I believe.
Right, offsets that, sort of.
Yeah, and similarly, the entirety of the warm-up room, you see 4 platforms here if you were to look at all the live streams. I believe there's 12, unless I'm bad at counting, fully stocked with TSS bars, TSS racks.
I think it's 12,
full plates. That is a ton of equipment. That's a dream gym in the back warm-up room here.
Very high-quality equipment. The racks, adjusting heights, very easy. I'm
Nothing
sure
but
as
the
you
best.
were there as a handler yesterday.
Yeah.
Very high-quality stuff.
Very easy to work with.
Beautiful squat from Ulrich from UTSA of 265, 3 white lights.
And you can see here on platform 4, they're making some adjustments to the rack. And if you're curious what that is, my assumption here is either he has a very wide frame where he's going to need to grip outside of where the rack typically would be, or he has some issues at walkout where he kind of bumps into the rack. It looks like he has 1 in, 1 out, so I'm going to guess it's the latter. And that's just kind of, you know, a small little adjustment that can go a long way. I think we've seen a couple of lifters bump the rack on their walkout, especially since everything is so tight. Maybe they can't even feel their feet as they walk out. This is just a small tactical advantage that, you know, is accounted for in USA Powerlifting.
And Brianna there with a very smooth opener, 157. Now we have some big squats coming up on platform 2. I already see 180 loaded as an opener.
I didn't even mention Caleb with the 1 in just blew up 727 as an opening squat.
Oh, just you wait though, because right after him is Lawrence with 332.5, and after Lawrence is Giovanni with 342.5.
342. And again, as a reminder, as we see these very heavy squats, here are the equipped rankings for the men's category. Midland ahead of the pack right now, with Texas A&M shortly behind, and they both have several lifters competing in this session today. So
yeah, BMC's own Lawrence Jones
as well. So all these placements, they'll become very important as you see Texas A&M and BMC as well try to overtake and get that first place position. And again, as a reminder, for those unaware of how collegiate team scoring works. Now that Ethan is knowledgeable about collegiate team scoring, I
that's
believe
you, big man.
he can explain exactly how collegiate team scoring works.
Before I do that, I was looking at Lawrence Jones' openers. He is projected to finish first.
Based on openers.
Yes, based on openers. And maybe some third attempts in the 100 kg class. So,
Oh my goodness.
that was crazy, by the way. As I get into the collegiate team scoring, first place is a huge, huge benefit for your team. There are 4 team categories, just to remind you guys. Raw and equipped, women and men. Only lifters who are registered as point scoring can score points. Each team gets 12 total athletes per team. So you get 12 raw men, 12 raw women, 12 equipped men, 12 equipped women. And you only get 2 scoring athletes per weight class. First 9 placings are scored as 12, then a 3-point drop to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And any lifter who registers a total out of those placings, as long as they are denoted as a scoring athlete, will get 1 point. The maximum you can score is 12 times 7, which is 84 points. And in the case of a tie, the team with the greatest number of first places will be ranked first, and the top 5 teams will receive awards. So we're going to keep our eyes on those team scores.
Giovanni blew up 342.5. Blink and you'll miss it, but you're just gonna have to wait and see what he's gonna load up next. It's gonna be a really tight race between our equipped lifters in the 100 kilo class.
And this is a rare event, Collegiate Nationals. It's not often that you see team scoring having such an emphasis placed on it. You're not doing it for yourself. This is an individual sport at the end of the day, but here, you know, you're kind of larger, part of something larger than yourself, which is really cool and very unique about Collegiate Nationals. And I think that's why I think it, you know, I will come out and watch a Midland lifter or a Texas A&M lifter who I've never heard of before, and I'm invested in their opening squat, which is a rare thing. I think that's a lot of fun.
I agree for sure. And here we see Ashley taking her second attempt on platform 1. Let's see how this goes.
Solid
Very
squat
well
from
done.
Ashley.
As I grit my teeth, that was a beautiful squat for the UGA Bulldogs.
And Sam getting ready to walk out with 300 keys here on platform 3.
Katie Zimmerman from Oregon. I think there was an Oregon-specific A7 singlet, if I can't.
It was a Nike singlet.
I don't know if it looks like she's rocking the regular, you know, all black A7, but I do know that
it's
they
clean.
have school sponsors.
It's clean.
Yeah.
It is
The
clean.
A7 singlet is clean.
Leanne on platform 2 with a 167.5 opener.
That's
blew that up.
ridiculous. 167.5, I believe that
370.
370-ish. That's well over 3.5 pound plate. Is that the right math?
365 is 3.5, so it's just a little bit over if you were to do the 3.5 pound plate. And so that, you know, if you were to walk around a commercial gym, you would stop and watch this
Everyone's
person do,
watching. Everyone's
and that's
watching,
just their opener. So this is some impressive
Ridiculous.
stuff. It's hard to contextualize because oftentimes, you know, these plates are not what you'll see in your typical commercial gym. So it's so much fun to watch when you can kind of translate these numbers to what it would look like in real life. Not that this isn't real life, but
Kenya, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Kenya here, another Georgia hometown favorite. She is very much involved in the powerlifting community here, and she's here taking 157.5 keys for her second attempt.
All black A7 seems to be a very common choice for the lifters.
Down to the socks.
Down to the socks.
Down to the socks. I like that commitment. Let's see it.
Big brace, easy depth.
Oh my goodness.
And I would be surprised if that does not receive the quickest 3 white lights the judges have ever given before in their lives.
She's got plenty more after that.
Absolutely. Okay, 2 white lights, but. So we are in the back room here, and through my headphones and through hearing you guys talk, I hear horns, I hear individual people screaming, I hear entire teams of people backing one lifter as if their screams were able to help them get the squats up.
This sounds like a football arena. Like I'm not even playing.
Quite literally.
When I started hearing the horns and whatever instruments are out there, I mean, I can't tell whether I'm, here at a powerlifting comp or just
Like
in
the
middle.
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, yeah, exactly.
I know that personally in Georgia Tech, we're kind of a newer program, but
For sure.
every single lifter feels like family. Like I can go watch someone who's not in my weight class,
Agreed.
Shreyas, for example, and I watch him pull that third squat, and I'll shed a tear.
Yeah,
and so
it was amazing. I think the athletes may not visually express it while they're lifting, but they definitely appreciate the support. It goes a very long way to know, no matter what happens at comp, you still have your team and your friends and family behind you.
Yeah.
And I think all of us as lifters appreciate that.
Yeah. I love the people who are very dialed into their team. I know specifically Joshua Hall, who will be competing later tonight.
Yes.
One of his most common posts is, I do it for my team. He's from the University of Houston. Platform 1. I'm sure he's out there in the crowd. Even though he's competing later tonight, he's going to be giving his all with his voice, trying to help Julissa squat 172.5, which is, I believe, 380.
380, and we have 177.5, our second heaviest opener on platform 2. And platform 3, heading into some unreal territory. We were just informed there is a 352.
352 is crazy. 352 for a deadlift is like.
That's a squat.
First, most notably, people would see 352 as a deadlift first.
As a deadlift in the elite pros for heavier weight classes.
Very elite pros. But as a squat, this man. Listen.
I'm gonna summarize our expressions in 3 simple words. That boy tough.
Oh, that boy tough.
That boy tough.
I'm sure all of his competitors are praying that his kneecaps do not survive. This is BMC, who are in 3rd place of the men's equipped. So this is
big.
An enormous squat.
And Xavier, as I mentioned, last year totaled 918 keys.
Whoa.
Total 918 keys.
Whoa.
So 367 is his comp best, I believe, from last year. Let's see where he ends up today on the squat.
I might be really so bad at
And it looks like, well, we're doing the math here right now. The math isn't actually, I believe they missed.
367.5 plus 310 plus 323 is actually 1,000.5. I'm not sure if there was a miscalculation in either any of his lifts or the total, but
regardless,
here's Xavier.
Let's see what he has on the day.
777, taking his time. Looks
very
good,
clinical.
Up.
Now, platform 1, eyes on Olivia here. She needs to hit the squat to stay in the meet. Pressure is on. Can she stand up to it?
The pressure is on, but pressure makes diamonds. Olivia's here to show up and show out. She is going to make this squat. I know it.
Tillman on platform 4 with a calm 320. Oftentimes you see equipped lifters kind of exploding out of the hole. He had a little bit of explosion and then a little bit of work where maybe his muscles kind of come back into the equation a bit more, and that transition is a little tough, but that was still a clean 320. I think he has a little bit more in him for his 3rd.
Following back up with Olivia on platform 1. She is in the meet. Nice job, Olivia. We would love to have you here and compete with the rest of the 82s.
And Jenny, getting ready to take 155 for her 3rd. As we mentioned, she just barely missed weight, but still out here and competing and giving her all. Valeria, on the other hand, 162.5 keys. She missed her opener here, but she is trying to take a step up.
Roan on platform 4 with 332.5 kilograms. I think, doing the math in my head, that's 733, and I could be wrong. That's absurd for a squat.
You are very much correct. If I'm looking at the screen behind Rowan, that is 733. Oh,
nah,
I love cheating. Why do you think I do sumo? Come on, Ethan.
That's what I'm saying. Cross on the thigh. Big brace. Depth looks good.
Come on, Rowan.
And blew it up. Let's see what the judges have to say about that. 733-pound squat out of 100 kilogram. Man, he only weighs 220. What's the... That's over 3 times body, obviously. 100
oh, yeah.
times 2. 3.32 times body weight squat is pretty impressive.
Man, the numbers are too big for me to do mental math. That's enough.
I'm uniquely blessed that I'm able to do the mental math.
I think I'm just
you.
very tired
Thank
right
you
now.
to my deadlift. Lawrence Jones with 342.5. That's going to be 755 pounds on the squat for BMC, who is, as I've said, I feel 8 times. They must have a ton of lifters in this men's equipped. Obviously, they're in 3rd place.
Now,
The atmosphere is ramping up right now, especially with Midland and BMC backing both their lifters who are about to squat some crazy numbers.
Oh my goodness. Amy smokes her 3rd there on platform 1.
Lawrence Jones gets into the hole and explodes out of it. He has so much more in the tank.
my.
Easily going to go over 770, maybe touching 780 pounds. Okay, so I'm curious what was his name? Xavier.
Here's Eliza Reckers stepping out with 155 on her back. A deep squat from her. Fight. Oh, just not enough for Eliza. Here's Julie stepping out with 172.5 on platform 2. She's getting ready for her 2nd attempt. Nice and steady walkout. Big brace. And a powerful squat from Julie. She's got plenty more with that 3rd. $345 keys, looking easy for Mitchell on platform 4. See how the judges give it.
And now 347 loaded on platform 4. So for some context, especially with our raw lifters here, a lot of our athletes will be trying to accumulate a qualifying total for Raw Nationals, which is in Salt Lake City this year in September. I think this would be as great of a chance to get that QT, do it on a national stage. You're about, what, 4 months out?
20
5
weeks.
months out. Good.
Maybe 21 weeks.
Good amount of prep time for a meet.
A perfect five
Yeah.
blocks for most people, yeah.
And for those who are looking for other big meets coming up soon, in the month of June, we'll be having all of our 5 regional meets here in the USAPL. So that's another chance for athletes to sort of get that nationals QT if that's what they need.
Caleb on platform 4 with 347.5. That's 766 pounds on his back.
Come on, Caleb. Up.
Yeah, that's a calm second. That's a calm second.
Is his nose bleeding?
Oh, that's tough. Real? Looks like his
I
mouth
can't
is
tell.
bleeding.
Oh, yeah, it might be his mouth. I saw some blood.
Either way, he's tough. He's
Rest-
tough.
He's very
Rest
tough.
assured. Now Leanne here, Mr. Opener, but still taking the 10-kilo jump.
That's a considerable jump.
Oh,
And she blows it up.
And she's
yeah, wasn't even a
and
risk,
she's her.
to be honest.
She got it. Again, like we talk about, so much mental game comes into this sport. That opener, nerves are a really big part of that. So
Can
it looks
confirm.
like she got over that.
Can confirm. I've had my fair share of missed opening
openers,
squats,
yeah.
not on strength, and you still want to go up because you know this is a not only do you know, but this is a competition and a team competition. You have not only yourself but others relying on you, and so sometimes you have to take the calculated risk. And Katie Zimmerman on platform 1, 157.5. She took the calculated risk. It has not paid off so far, but let's see if it will here from Oregon.
Big brace.
Like
Sinks
I said
it.
before, pressure.
A little too much. That means she will be bombing out of the meet. She's still allowed to take her bench and deadlift attempts, but she will not be registering a total, and she is not able to help her team score any points. And so I believe the team scoring, anyone who is denoted as a scoring lifter will get 1 point if they register a total at minimum. I believe she will not be able to add to her team's total, which is tough. But I've seen a couple Oregon folk. I think maybe they can pull through.
They have a good shot.
A beautiful 355 squat on platform 4 from, I believe, Caleb Esparza. That was crazy. 3 white lights. The judges loved it. I loved it too. Can't wait to see what he's going to load up next.
Chloe Beasley on platform 2. We are well into the 400s.
27.5 is 414.
400 plus pound back squat, which is light work on platform 2 for a second there for Chloe. And it's a good lift.
Yeah, that's a sleigh. You see she whipped the hair out. That's a sleigh. Good work, Chloe.
We got some bigger squats coming in too. Maybe we'll see some 200 kilo squats based on these second attempts so far. UGA athlete Ashley here on platform 1.
She's 2 for 2 so far. 160 is loaded for her. Let's see if she goes 3 for 3.
Travis blowing up his third on platform 4. Midland is letting everybody know that they enjoy it. Those 3 white lights, helping them in jockeying for a position in the men's equipped team. Ashley on platform 1, 160 blown up. Very calm, very clean. That's a perfect third attempt. 2 to 1. That's all you need, baby.
Min-maxing. We love it. Here's Kenya up next, part of UJ as well on platform 1. 162.5 chosen for her. Let's see if she gets it here.
And our first 190 kilo squat of the day in our women's 82.5.
Caitlin Corpus.
Big squat.
What school is that, UV? Are you aware?
It's San Diego State University. So another West Coast school.
Okay.
We got a big showing from California schools.
Yeah, and I'm hyper aware of how much the time difference can make, especially for the morning lifters. This is a 3-hour time difference. So for if you were a morning lifter in California, you'd be waking up at 1 a.m. your time to go to And so even though this is the second session, they weigh in at 11 o'clock. You're still waking up a bit early, and maybe your circadian has been thrown off.
Exactly.
There's a lot of variables that can be affected, and that's what makes national meets like this so entertaining to watch, because anything can happen.
And on platform 1, we're about to wrap up here. Looking at our third to last third squat, Kenya here 162, and on platform 2, is that a record attempt I see?
That is a national record attempt by Sarah Wilcher from Haverford.
Did not look like a world record. She blew that up.
Expecting. Ooh.
A little high.
She has some in the tank, though, for sure. I think she can definitely claim that again.
A good catch from our spotters on platform 4.
Keelan.
285 was a bit too much for Keelan.
Leaving his heart out on the platform, not stopping until the bar was literally ripped from his back by the spotters and loaders, giving everything he has. I think he was a Midland lifter, if I'm not mistaken, so they take their placings very seriously. They're in a battle with other schools to take away first place awards.
Most notably, Texas A&M was 7 points trailing right behind them.
Yeah. In the men's equipped.
A grinder from Haley on platform 1.
Very clean.
She's so hyped about that. What a great squat.
And moving in to our final squat. Now, Julissa from University of Houston, she weighed in light as well, 78 kilos.
Okay.
Room to spare, and still closing out with the heaviest squat. 180 keys here.
Arthur Emerson on platform 4 with 292.5. We'll see what the judges say about the depth. I am a little ignorant about the equipped. And it looks like they give it to him 2 to 1. And he's excited about that one.
And looking a little ahead into platform 2 for our thirds, I see 200 kilo attempts loaded up.
And I'm looking ahead on platform 4 for our thirds, and Giovanni has loaded 365.5. 365 is 804, the mythical first 800, because 362.5 is not 800 definitively. 365.5 is a record of some type. It has to be national if you're going to make chips. Yep. Possibly a world record if it's 800. That's obnoxiously heavy.
And Julissa here takes 180. Very well done. Let's see what the judges say.
An
Good
amazing
lift.
squat from Julius.
The white Power Ranger.
The white Power Ranger.
Let's go.
Raging Cajuns in front of the cameras on platform 3. They're letting Sam Quinn, their boy, know that he is supported, he's loved, and he's going to come out and have to blow up 310 to stay in the meet, taking a 10-kilo jump after missing the opener.
And now that wraps up our squatting for platform 1. We are going to be taking a 10-minute intermission there as we prepare for the bench press event on platform 1. So please stay tuned. And there is the rest of our schedule on the screen for lifting. And tune into the other platforms as well if you want to see, since they're still going on.
And back to Sam Quinn on platform 3. 310 to stay in the meet. Depth looks close. He blew that up.
Let's see, that was
Pretty
very fast.
close.
He could still go up and just go a little deeper,
yeah.
but he gets the 3 white lights and is going to take, I'm sure, a very hefty or comfortable 10 to 15 kilos,
I think
which will
so.
put him into the 700 range.
Isabella here, retaking her second. Can she secure these extra 10 keys?
Come on, grind it out.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
All smiles there. And let's see.
Let's go, Tillman.
Given to her. 3 white lights. Beautiful out of Isabella.
Platform 4, a bit of a struggle for Tillman with 322.5. He squeezed out the
Yes, sir.
extra 2.5 kilos from his last attempt.
All right.
Nice shot for the
I
man.
need whatever the audience is having because they have been bringing this energy since 8 o'clock in the morning, and they have not let up. And
That's
it is
what happens when you have 1 gram of caffeine.
1 gram of caffeine. I see. We need to get a poll going. Total caffeine consumption from our audience members.
Oh, my goodness. It'd have to be kilo. Like, I'm sure it's a
Yeah.
squat. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Cali Cordova, you know Midland's going whenever you hear the horns and the crowd bump with excitement. Depth looks
Nice.
good.
Go, Cali.
Amazingly
Oh
locked
my
out.
goodness. They're
And that's 3 white lights, of course, as it should be. Beautiful squat for Kaylee, or Callie.
amazing noise cancellation on these mics.
I
I can
know.
literally hear them as if they are right over there beside me in the warm-up room.
I
So,
feel like there's someone blowing a horn in the seat next to me, but
and this venue is massive. I mean, here in the Georgia International Convention Center, this first time actually they're having it near the airport, so very convenient for our athletes that are traveling from all across the country. But
Jace, pause, sorry, with 337, that was a insane misgroove maybe, but he got
he gets
back
it.
under
Does he
himself.
get
Got
it?
it.
Yeah.
Got
He
White
gets it.
lights. That is dog mentality right there.
That is a dog right there. Let's see. Jason gets 3 reds here.
I'm sorry to cut off what you were saying.
No.
I was just watching some.
Oh, there's so much going on. I don't even blame you.
Yeah, but by the airport, I actually flew in from New York, and it being right by the airport was extremely convenient.
Yeah.
There's hotels around here, making it easy for the lifters with our venue planning. Really a beautiful decision to have it
For
here, of
sure.
all places in Atlanta.
Looking out for the college athletes, paying for Ubers as well. It's not the best. You've already invested a lot into tickets, so. And I love the space as well. They've done a very good job.
Yeah.
It's actually the biggest space of CNATs ever.
Wow.
Of CNATs ever.
Oh my goodness,
Rowan
Rowan.
going through the sticking point like a man.
Come on,
through it.
Julie. Ooh, so close. But great catch from our spotters and loaders.
Looks like 1 red. Doesn't matter. Roan gets his 3rd attempt squat of 755 pounds. Oh, Andrew giving us a little dance on platform 3. A little nod to the legend Delaney Wallace, giving us some moves.
Some moves. Platform 3, Xavier from BMC. He's about to do an 805-pound squat. That is a large grizzly bear. A very large grizzly bear. He's
Some might
about
say
to
it's
put
2
on his
vending
back.
machines.
Or 2, maybe even 3 full vending machines.
You can hear the pop from the crowd. BMC is in our men's equipped top 3 right now. This is a huge squat that they're going to need if they want him to get them those 12 or 9 points.
For sure. Also, 350 on platform 4. Do not count Mitchell out here.
The Javelinas. Clean. Let's see what the judges say.
Mitchell.
Good lift and no lift for Mitchell.
Xavier
Fight,
explodes.
Xavier.
365, a little tongue action at the end. He's flying. You know he got that. Yes, sir. 804 pounds from Xavier. He has another attempt to go.
And let's turn our attention to platform 2, where we have Sarah. Now, she missed 192.5 keys initially for her second.
And if I remember, I think it was on depth. I think she most definitely on the strength. It was a little hard, but I definitely think that this is there, and she's going to have the ability to pull this one through if she can dial in
and
right
she
here.
Is
She's
about
going to really need to
to
sink
push
this.
through. Come on.
Fight it. Fight it.
Oh.
The dogman, that was crazy.
That was,
I would have given up on that lift 5 seconds
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. Such grit
And
there.
she almost, I'm sure that sticking point was 1 centimeter away before she just exploded. Lawrence Jones on platform 4 with 777 pounds.
Orange.
Taking his time.
Nice.
And then just blows it up. Oh my goodness.
Adam fighting for 245.
Adam. Just wasn't there.
2-1 for Lawrence. He does not get that lift, and that's his third. I think there is contesting. I don't know if that is. There is contest.
Okay. You can contest.
Now, 2, as I mentioned earlier, 192.5 keys again. Believe a record attempt, or
no, I don't see a record
no
attempt
record
anywhere.
on screen. However, still a very big squat, and then afterwards we will have 2 separate 200-kilo squat attempts, which I believe will be the record.
357.5 is being loaded for Caleb Esparza, representative of UTSA.
Here's Gino holding up the bird. I'm assuming their school mascot or logo.
The Roadrunners.
You've been doing this for a while. If you know the mascots. Oh, it says okay.
It says it right.
I thought you've just been memorizing mascots at this point.
I have been here for a couple days as well.
He knows where to look to figure out the mascots at minimum. But Caleb here with a big brace, a little bit of a pre-hinge, nice and controlled into the hole, and explodes out of it.
There's the bloody nose.
Yeah, bloody nose that we know and love. Let's see what the judges say.
Hold up on platform 3.
3 reds, a little high. Chloe with 200 kilograms, 441 pounds for an 82.5 collegiate women's is absurd.
Here's Giovanni with
a little heavy.
National record squat being loaded up on platform 4.
I'm still surprised that I can't hear the crowd through
our mics
because this is a Midland lifter, and this is a Midland lifter squatting 805 pounds.
Yep. This is a national record attempt. Now, can Isabella secure this 200-kilo back squat here? That's insane. 441 pounds. In the virus singlet, I believe.
Yeah. That was your max not too long ago, UV, and you're 90. You got to dial in. These are some crazy numbers.
No, yeah, Ethan is right. Like, this is insane. Oh, my good.
Amazing out of Isabel. A little tilt there at the end. Hopefully there's no technical issue with the judges.
Let's
and 3 white
oh,
lights.
let's go. And she's
That's exciting.
There we go.
Here's Giovanni on platform 4, 365.5. I've never actually heard the crowd this loud before.
Me either. This is a first for me as well. As platform 2 wraps up, you can either stick around with us with platforms 3 and 4. There's plenty of squatting left, especially when Giovanni breaks an American record, or you can wait the 10-minute intermission and wait until
oh my goodness.
That is a new American record. I suggest you switch over to platform 4 right now.
And that wraps it up, I believe, for platform 2.
And 4.
And 4. Very nice synchronization there.
Yeah.
Move on to
Our spotters and loaders are consistent. What can we say?
Very much so. They're giving, looks like Adam Hedrick
with a grind.
And he is hyped after that one.
Jason after him went 305, took a 10-kilo jump, and is going to have to retake it after missing. Do you remember his second? I don't remember his.
I don't remember it, but we'll see how this third goes.
Yep, 315, 694, just under the 700-pound mark. Nothing to scoff at, absolutely. Takes his time setting up. Spotters and loaders look like they're getting a little hype too.
Come on, Jason. Up, fight it, come on.
Oh my goodness, the knees go forward, he gets under the bar. That was a solid 5-second grind. I'm sure it felt like 5 years to him under the bar, and he gets 3 white lights, coming back from that second miss attempt. That is one of the best feelings in the world, I'm sure.
That was huge. Platforms 2 and 4 are underway with starting benches. Opening with Ian Carrion on platform 2, 110 keys, and Lane Healy on platform 4, opening with 115.
Both above the mythical 102.5 kilogram, which is the
classic
legendary 225-pound bench press, and these are the beginning of the flights, meaning they're the lightest of openers. So we won't see a 90 to 110 kilogram man opening with less than 225. So I just feel like powerlifters can kind of take a smile and a look back, like, yeah, we're better than all of you.
Here, platform 3, Clay barking as he makes 317.5 look real good under him. Andrew Lutz up next on platform 3, 335 keys. The squats get heavier, ladies and gents. And trust me when I mean gets heavier, when in 2 more lifters, 376.5 keys.
Yeah. I am aware that 375 is 826. Each half key is about a pound. We're going to call that 830. That is an absurd squat, and I am going to be watching that one.
I can't believe I'm going to watch this live.
Live through a screen.
Oh, yeah. Well, the atmosphere
doesn't make it less
so
cool.
live.
Yeah, that's true. Miles blows up 117.5. He's going to have plenty left.
Andrew Lutz with a controlled descent, 335 up. He's surprised by that.
He's like, wow, that was better than I thought. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gives a little prayer to the judges. Give me those white lights. They give it to him. He runs off excited into his teammates, who I heard in the crowd the entirety of that lift. Another 335 kilogram squat here. That is 738 pounds. Sam Quinn doing the penguin walk up to the platform.
He's going to need all the cheering from the Raging Cajuns right behind him.
Yep. They got their salt shakers out.
Nice.
A little
steady.
shaky on the walk out, but he seems to settle it in. A little readjustment.
All right, Sam, let's go.
Gets the start command. Takes his breath.
Up.
That was clean. That was clean. That is impressive stuff.
Wow.
After, yeah.
Show him.
I'm surprised the camera didn't get punched there.
Yeah.
After missing his opener of 300 kilograms, 661, he comes back, takes a 10-kilo jump to 310, and then a 25-kilo jump. That is ballsy. And he came out with 2 white lights, really keeping it close.
Very, very close. But, hey, you know what? He gets it. We'll give it to him.
Yeah, no, I love it. And what's not close is Xavier to everybody else with a 30 bump from the last lifter. That's a whole 60 to 70 pounds.
That is crazy.
And you can hear it's a BMC lifter. You know they got a ton of equipped out here. This is their session, and this is Xavier's moment. 830 pounds on his back, wiggling into the bar, wedging in.
Come on, Xavier.
takes his time. 1 to 2 seconds between steps. Very important when you have that much weight on your back. Takes his breath, gets the start command.
Up.
Oh my goodness. That
God.
was insane.
What?
830 pounds.
What?
For a, oh my
What?
goodness, new American record, not even close, a 3 white light lift. No one can question that. Nobody. That was absurd.
Stick around, guys. After this 10-minute intermission, we will start bench on platform 3.
We have, however, already started bench on platforms 1, 2, and 4. We're getting into the seconds on platform 1 for Sophie. She took a calm 2.5 kg jump. That tells me she probably was not very confident about the opener, but that does not mean she can't come back from it. It's possible. We are in the strictest of judging in the United States, possibly even the world nowadays. They have really bumped up the standards, and the pauses. I have heard a lot of people grumbling about the pauses. I personally think that it's fair. The bar is motionless. That is the rule. The bar must be motionless.
Especially when we get to these heavier lifters, we're going to see a lot more sinking action rather than soft touching. So
Yeah.
well, they're going to have to wait until that bar doesn't move.
Yeah, and that's tough for judges, giving a press command after, you know, they've already, it's not once they touch their body, it's once the bar stops moving, and sometimes the bar can sink into the body and you lose sight of where the bar is. That's a tough ask.
Very, very tough ask and a very, very tough call to give.
Samantha Brown, also a 2.5 kg jump, playing it conservative. I really respect that approach. I think I personally have kind of a reputation of overshooting a little bit.
Hey, listen,
and so
me too. I'll confess, right?
The ability to take what's there on the day and, you know, be intelligent about it. Don't do what you came into plan. You take what's there. That's a smart lift. I actually missed. We were yapping too much, but I think she got that. Some white lights, so it was a good attempt there.
Yep. Looking at LiftingCast, she did.
She was on platform 1, actually.
Yeah, she did make that lift.
Love it. Very commonly, and this is an interesting, I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts, but commonly the jump from 1 to 2 is going to be bigger than the jump from 2 to 3. So when you take a 2.5 on your first, you're not closing the door off from a bigger jump if you hit both, obviously. But it does make it a little tougher.
So yes, I can definitely agree with that. Ooh, it's a grinder from Riley, but she just couldn't get it.
She'll be able to try that once more on her third.
Yeah, but the jumps between 1 and 2 are definitely going to be a lot smaller. It's about building that, a lot bigger. Well, it's about,
I think it's more of an opener is you get it in. A second is meant to judge where the top end is. And oftentimes, if you're taking a smaller jump between 1 and 2, you're not properly judging where that top end is, and you're kind of just throwing a number out there and just wishing that it's there without having a proper confidence that it's there.
Oftentimes, we've seen though, with throwing that number out there with that second attempt, that just ends up being their top end for the day.
Sometimes that's possible for sure.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with that, and they'll have to squeeze out an extra 2.5 keys.
Yeah.
If we're really going for it, 5. But if we're really confident, 10.
Or if you're a baller, 105 kg.
105 keys.
Like we saw last flight. Andrew Bourdreau, 150 kilograms, 331 pounds. Absolutely murdered, 331. I'm sure, he's feeling confident. He's going to load 160 would be my prediction if I had to predict.
For sure. And here's Michael Bender of Northeastern, 145 keys for his open arm platform 2. Morgan makes quick work of 75 keys. 3 white lights, couldn't agree more.
Nice and slow from Michael, which is something that I love, but it looks like a little motion on his chest. Got a longer of a press command, but I think that's probably going to be 3 white lights.
Good lift. Good lifts all around. We love to see it. Here's Tyrone on platform 4, looking to take 152.5. We're going to watch this guy blow it up.
Molina on platform 1 took a 7.5 kg jump. I think that's actually pretty rare. That means you're feeling really good after your opener for the women's side. Yes, sir. She got it. She's got another 2.5 to 5, most definitely.
Nice job, Tyrone.
I really like the squat event because you're able to see the fits more. I feel like the bench press kind of mutes the fits a little, but doesn't make it any less exciting. I'm sure we're going to get into some insane numbers. Looking ahead, I can see that there are some attempts that are starting with 2, and that's a squat for a lot of people.
Oh, that's a squat for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing some 227. That's in the 500s. So that's an opener.
Oh yeah.
But it's possible that there are some jumps that, and if I remember correctly, someone was squatting or benching 310. Was that a stat?
Yeah, no, that was a stat from last year. That's right.
Xavier, who recently hit a new PR of 376.5 kg or 830, I guess has hit a 310 kilogram
bench last year.
That's what our stats here tell us. That would be crazy.
Hey, listen, Xavier, I know you can't hear me, but I'm going to say this now. I want you to blow up your bench. I'm expecting 330.
It looks okay. Wait, it looks like he's opening with 227.5. I'm actually gonna take a pause here and look him up on Open Powerlifting because 310 kg bench, that can't be real. So I'm just gonna double check the stats. Xavier Harad, his bench press. What was it? Because it says 310 here. There's no shot.
Here's Emily on platform 1, 92.5 keys, getting set for her second attempt. Ethan is in shock with Xavier's numbers. Grind.
Gabriel with a grind on 160. Looks like he is not able to lock it out. He's going to have to come back and hit that. Fortunately, he has 2 attempts.
For sure, but it's got to hurt for your opener, though, mentally. And
also, fortunately, it's probably not a strength thing. Oftentimes, with equipped bench, it's very iffy, or very finicky, sorry, technically. And that can cause some weights, which would have been light otherwise, to look very difficult. So, I believe, just a slight change, he'll come back and he'll smoke that. And coming back is Yuvraj Tripathi. Welcome back from your extended break.
I had to take care of a personal matter, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm back. I'm glad to be back here.
Great to see the light of my life back commentating with us.
I'm sorry. I'm taking a little break, but looks like bench is very well underway. No, so tell me, just to summarize the things that have been going on for both me.
Yeah, so very standout squat from Xavier Harad or Herod. He last year hit 367.5 kg on squat. He bumped that up to an 376.5 kg squat.
Oh my
AKA
goodness.
830. It wasn't light work, but it wasn't his top end.
Honestly, I'm going to say you should have been there.
Okay, so we got some statistical backup on Xavier. In our sheets here, it says 310 kg on the bench. That is not true.
It could be a typo now that I'm thinking about it. It could be meant to be 210.
I was geeking at that earlier.
I mean, listen, if you told me he benched 310 equipped,
yeah,
I could believe it.
So sorry for
well, I mean, after seeing that squat,
or what's the bad journalism? Bad journalism. Yeah.
2 pit athletes here on platform 2 and 4. Miles and Jonathan. Similar weights here. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. And while Lauren tries to go for that 62.5, or it does not go, but the yellow and the black hit A7 singlet, it has grown on me.
That's a bold claim.
I don't know why.
I love the school spirit, trust me. And I know that, like, performance-wise, A7 is kind of top of the top in a lot of aspects.
100%.
I know they make great stuff.
And now A7. Now, listen, if you're not a fan of the yellow, that's all right, because A7 just released their new deflection collection just yesterday. If you want to get it now at a7.co. And just, some little bit of background. They have been a sponsor for the USAPL since 2016, and now they're the official supplier of USAPL branded apparel. So if you're looking to get a USAPL comp shirt or any other sort of USAPL merch, that is all A7 made. Shout out to them. And their motto, demand greatness, I think reverberates through all of us as lifters. Ultimately, the sport is about pushing
Now let's watch Sophie demand greatness as she squeezes out 70 keys for her final bench of the day.
That was smooth, Ben.
Thanks, man.
And bench is about to begin on platform 3, I believe, in the next few seconds. So for those tuning in, welcome back, or welcome for the first time to the 2024 USAPL Collegiate Nationals.
Josh on platform 4 with 132.5.
Oh, yes.
And he made light work of that. I think he probably has another 7 after a 7.5 kg jump from the opener.
Pedro gets 2 out of 3 white lights there. Good attempt there.
Samuel Buckner on platform 4 from Kennesaw State University.
Shout out KSU.
Shout out KSU.
Hometown schools here in Georgia. They've also done a very good job of building up their team.
Absolutely, yeah.
Grinder from Sophie on platform 1. Unfortunately, she doesn't get it. Don't mean to cut you guys off.
No, you're good.
With Samuel Buckner, our Georgia native, making a bit of a grind, a little bit of a struggle.
He got space, though. He has space, for sure, to make a 2 to 5. But yeah, as we were saying, KSU, we have from KSU 2 podium contenders in the later weight classes tonight. Kyle White, a 90-kilogram lifter. He's looking to make his mark after a 12th place finish last year into either a first. He would be disappointed with second. I'm certain of it, and I know he'd come back and make it right the year after. And after that, we have a 110-kilogram lifter, Noah Whitman. So very excited to watch those two. Both of them are podium threats. Both of them are looking to blow up near 700-pound squats, 400-pound benches. So that is extremely exciting. Tune in tonight to watch some of those prime-time marquee lifters make their mark on the Collegiate Nationals platform.
And then one more thing about Kyle. He's recently featured on a King of the Lips podcast. And on there, he stated he's going for the win.
Wait.
So I can't wait to see that.
He was on King of the Lifts? Is that real? I thought
that is real.
That is not a joke.
Come on, Ethan.
Wait, I didn't know it was on King of the Lifts.
Look it up.
Holy smokes, I didn't know I was talking to a celebrity.
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
Yeah. And Riley here, retaking her second, getting that assisted lift off, 75 keys. Have a string of missed lifts for these third attempts.
Yeah, so we were just told that there are 450 people listening to us 3 goofballs yap about powerlifting. Thank you all for joining. We're having an incredible time watching these bench presses get blown up, people hitting new PRs, people fighting, jockeying for position, trying to build the subtotal to help their team win the men's equipped and women's raw team rankings.
Now it looks like the streak of missed lift continues, unfortunately, on these third benches. And I guess for those watching here at home, you might be wondering how you can get involved with powerlifting in general. And
you can get involved, UV. You can get involved by going onto the USAPowerlifting.com website, and you can look for a meet closest to you, right? And if you are a student and you want to start a barbell club or a powerlifting club at your school, reach out to USA Powerlifting, and they will help you get started.
Once you've done that and registered for a powerlifting federation and competition, if you're looking to increase your training, then you can look no further than one of our sponsors, Boostcamp. You can elevate your training with the premier powerlifting app for absolutely free. Follow proven programs.
Did you say free?
Yes, free. Proven programs like TSA 9-week approach, the beloved Candido 6-week strength program.
Oh, I love me some Candido.
The Kristen Dunsmore intermediate program, 531, and over 100 new programs that you can use to smash those PRs. So if you're ready for a game-changing trainer app, especially if you're in prep for your very first competition, I would highly suggest Boostcamp. Shout out Boostcamp again for sponsoring this stream.
Thank you, Boostcamp.
And yeah, I mean, again, when it comes to powerlifting and the bench press, as we were discussing earlier in the day, it's a lot more technical and nuanced, I'd say, than the squat and deadlift. You know, a lot more goes into it from a training perspective. Programming is really different as well, and you can already see, like, there are a lot of differences in the way people are executing their bench press. Wide stance, short stance, wide grip, short grip, close grip. Go on.
Right. Feet under you or feet in front of you. It's very, very different. Michael Bednar makes quick work of 150.
Bednar.
Bednar. My bad.
2 whites.
2 whites. Up next on platform 2, Jared Miller.
More KSU.
From KSU,
Yeah.
a Georgia native. Going for 150.
7.5 kg jump from his opener. 331 pounds. I divert my attention to platform 3, Christopher Davidson, lifting right alongside his teammate Tyrone Addison Jr. 140 for the opener. Blown up.
Oh my goodness.
308 pounds there.
Are those matching singlets?
I mean, they're from the same team, brother, probably.
True.
And Brielle ecstatic as she completes that. And is it a good lift? It is a good lift. Amazing job there.
Little of a struggle from Tyrone there, but that was a 7.5 kg jump. And with the bench press, percentage-wise, that is a hefty jump. He'll probably take a 2, maybe a 5 if he feels confident. There was some technical mishap there.
Now, Jared, one of our good examples of an individual using a closer grip on the bench press. Now, of course,
I'm a close grip advocate nowadays.
Yeah,
I'm a humongous close grip
even
fan.
Ethan with his
Pinky ring, baby.
super
Pinky
long
ring.
arms, who you would think is disadvantageous. It doesn't mean just because you have long arms.
ROM
that
is not everything.
exactly.
Is what I'll say.
Exactly.
Although ROM is important on my deadlift. Did my mic blow up?
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, okay. I stopped hearing myself. I was afraid that. Yeah, ROM is not everything. Sometimes you need to be in the most powerful position. Use more of your triceps in that closer grip. And for me personally, it's easier to maintain my center of mass on the chest. When I had a wide grip, a lot of stress on my chest, very difficult to control the bar down to my chest. And ever since moving in, it's felt great. So,
Sure.
all that to say, sumo is not cheating, ladies and gentlemen.
Sumo is not cheating. Low bar is not cheating. Sleeves are not cheating. Arching is not cheating. It's not cheating, all right? Just get better at the sport. Stop coping. I'm kidding. I love all of you, but also partially not. And we have Gabriel here retaking his opener weight for his second attempt.
160.
Platform 1, we're moving on to our second flight of the session. Here's Amy Dawn going on to open with 65 keys. Alexander walking out platform 3, getting set with 152 and a half. Being set to go hover over his chest.
Just to paint the picture for our first flight on platform 1, only 4 successfully made third benches here. And the subtotal picture has already started to settle. A lot of the individuals here settling down near 200 keys. See how this fares in the future with these next flights. Amy, good pause, good press. Does not get easier than that. Now again with the bench press. Have you already discussed how there are 3 commands?
No, man, you take it away.
Thank you so much, Ethan. Again, so with the bench press, a reason why it is one of the more technical lifts is because it has 3 commands when it comes to doing it in competition. You have to wait for the start command, the press command, and the rack command. And now the pause that is so characteristic of a powerlifting style bench press, that pause is there to ensure the bar is motionless. So if you see some of our athletes here who may be looking like they're pausing for a while, it is because the center judge has
Not paused.
Has not said it's paused. The bar has to be completely motionless, no downwards motion, no wobbling at all.
Maybe a couple years ago at local meets you're able to get away with.
Yeah.
But this is the national stage, the strictest of judging requirements. Ian with 122.5, grinding it out. Beautiful third attempt selection out of him. And if I remember, I spoke too soon. My fault. Looks like there was a blue and a red.
So the blue would be
very
most
contestable. Since 2 judges, decided for 2 different reasons, it's possible that that is overturnable. I'm, hoping that they can go to the jury's table, get it overturned.
Grind from Hayden on platform 4. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it up. He does get to walk away with 127 and a half.
I can't like hear myself. Like, huh?
Here's Marco Grimick on 127 and a half on platform 2. Bit of a grind from him. Fortunately, 127 isn't there today. Here's Jonathan with a strong bench on platform 4. He gets it up, walks away with 3 white lights.
Love to see it.
Here's Haley.
And
Haley walks away with 3 white lights with her opener. Solid bench.
Miles, and my new favorite A7 pit singlet.
I think it's just you. I think
Okay.
it grew very large.
Here's my personal bias. I have a close friend of mine from high school that goes to pit. There's my explanation. Also, I really like the yellow.
All right, man. Miles is showing a very high arch. 130. Oh, unfortunately, just wasn't
Unfortunate.
there. A no lift from Peyton on platform 3.
3 reds sweeping the screen.
Yep.
Except for Alina from Michigan, who hit 3 whites.
Now, when it comes, well,
I'm Ethan. nice to meet you. You're Bryce, right?
and when it comes to the bench press, again, you know, sometimes with the squat and deadlift, you will see very commonly athletes will be able to make set PRs on the platform. But with the bench press, especially for athletes who are cutting weight coming into the meet, there's a lot more at play that could affect some of the decision making there and the success of those rates.
Yeah, body weight is super important when it comes to the bench press. I know this personally. I have jumped a weight class recently, and the bench is feeling better than it ever has. So the combination of losing weight, trying to make weight for a meet for those who train and live a little higher above the weight class, along with having, you know, I know we've said this probably 10 to 15 times at this point, but the judges are incredibly strict.
Correct.
And so that also can take a toll on your top end. And oftentimes you'll see lifters come in, maybe go match their PRs, maybe 2.5 to 5 kilos less, and that is a good day. So nothing to be upset about, not hitting any new PRs on the bench. It is the toughest of the 3, most definitely to hit. Here's Samuel Buckner with a 5 kg jump from the second. That is a crazy grind.
Grind it.
Oh
and he
my
got
goodness.
it. The ultra close grip showing why you need those massive triceps. I'm sure he's doing his push downs in training, but he gets 2 reds, unfortunately.
But he can contest it.
He can contest it, but
Let's see.
2 blues, I believe that means up and downward motion. Here on platform 1, Jenny Hernandez, 80 kilograms.
And again, you know, Sam with that large range of motion, taking that close grip, and Prometai taking 3 reds there. In that bench shirt, it's just a lot more difficult to execute that movement consistently.
I actually have forgotten to like pay attention to that at all. The bench shirt. That is a super like lift changing piece of equipment. Of course, we know in the squat you get wraps and a squat suit, and in the deadlift you get is a deadlift suit a thing?
A deadlift suit, correct.
But in the bench, that is a humongous part where it's purely just rubber banding your elbows to your chest, helping you in the bottom part of that bench press, which for a lot of people can be the most difficult part.
Right, but again, they have to fight that resistance on the way down as if they're rowing the weight. It can be very difficult at times. And Dominic gets a good lift there.
Kenya also with 3 white lights on her opening bench press.
Here's platform 3's Mario Martinez going for 170 for his opener. It's going to be 374 pounds.
Look at that quick math out of you, Ben. You probably, are you squatting around that weight? That's the...
That's my go-to deadlift warm-up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's I'm not good at math. I just have been in all of the rep ranges for all of these numbers, whether it be back downs or top ends. So there are a couple that are iffy, but
Grinder from Duncan. Can he get his right arm?
And that's another one of those picky things with that bench shirt, you know, just fighting that tension and just getting your shoulder in place. Ashton very happy as he secures his third there.
Here's Eliza up next on platform 1, getting set to bench 80 kilos for her opener. Another one of those self lift-offs that we were noting earlier.
I love me some self lift-off. I'm a self lift-off enjoyer.
And yeah, with the self lift-off, obviously the eliminated possibility of having somebody else control the begin of your bench. But some of these lifters, they might need it to sort of keep their shoulder positioning and not waste energy.
It is an energy waste. Well, not a waste, but it is an energy taker for sure.
Yeah.
Hype from Alexander. Fiji Rova. That was a guess. Hopefully that was close. I love, you know, bench press, for me at least, and I'm sure for a good amount of people, is kind of an intermission of sorts. You know, you have the big number on the squat. You come in and just, especially us long-armed lifters, we take an intermission on the bench. I love seeing people get off a bench extremely hyped. Because I know yesterday I was handling and my lifter was using salts for the squat, and he said no salts, no music for the bench. I'm like, okay, this is, you know, and part of that is because it's more technical. You have to pay attention to like more things. You have to press with your legs, your feet have to be in the right spot. Your entire upper body is being worked from your back, your chest, even your biceps stabilizing in the bottom of the hole. You have 3 commands to listen to. It's actually the most mentally stressing of the 3 movements.
Solid bench from Jared Miller. He did take that 5-kilo jump from 150 to 155.
And he got it, and he's hype. I love the hype.
Gotta get hyped after those wins.
Alyssa here, back in the all-white A7.
Our white Power Ranger from Houston.
Let's see it, 82.5.
181. I know that one because of the weight class.
You used to weigh 181. I weigh 181. Here's Tyrone about to bench used to be my all-time squat PR.
Yeah.
And Michael here, ready to take 157.5. He is here in his 3rd attempt.
Platform 2, Michael Bednar with 157.5.
Come on, Michael.
Ooh.
Grind it out.
He locks it out. We'll see what the judges have to say about that possible up and down, and it looks like all 3 of them saw it. He will not be able to contest that one, but, you know, that's a gym PR. I love me some gym PRs on the platform.
Peyton getting his 165-kilo opener on platform 3, and Hunter getting ready for a 172.5-kilo 3rd attempt on platform 4.
The Gator Olivia Wilson with 70 keys getting set to go for her 2nd attempt.
So on platform 1, if you remember from squats, there was a lifter who was not able to complete a squat. And so that does mean she bombs out and will not be able to register a total. And for many people, well, okay, you are afforded the opportunity to still complete bench presses and deadlifts, but at the end of the day, your total will say 0 kilograms. And speaking from experience, that can be devastating. After 4 months of prep, years of training, you know, this is like, powerlifting is more than a sport to me. Like, it's a lifestyle. Like, it seeps into every part of your life, whether it be food, not going out and doing things with your friends because you have to sleep because you have your week 3 squat the next day. Like, it is seriously all-encompassing of a sport, and every single 1,200 of these lifters, I'm sure, put their lives into the sport just for 11 pounds more on a squat, which is crazy. So that lifter bombing out has unfortunately decided to not take a bench press attempt. And I just, again, speaking from experience, I know that can be devastating. And I completely respect that decision. You know, you come in and sometimes you want the outcome, and she didn't get the outcome she wanted. So best of luck to her in the future. Yeah.
Best of luck to her in the future. but let's watch Rachel become her right now with 72.5 keys. Amazing bench. Come on, press, press, press.
Very good effort there. Let's see if the judges will grant that a good lift. It is a good lift. Now, it is likely that we will see most likely a scratch third attempt potentially there. Now, as a lifter, you have the option to scratch your third attempts if you feel like you've emptied the tank out.
and actually, there is one thing that I've done a couple of times where maybe you've overshot on the second. It is huge in meets that kind of the time between attempts stays the same. So oftentimes what people will do, they will empty the tank on that second on accident. Of course, no one wants to max out on a second attempt. And they don't want to take a third. They know they don't have another 2.5 kg. They want to save some energy for deadlifts. And what they do is they'll put in the 2.5 kg jump so that the flight length stays the exact same. And that is seen as like very respectful towards the other lifters. It also helps, you know, let's say you're in the first of 2 flights. It also helps timing for the later lifters who are doing warm-ups, because I know that is extremely stressful. Back here, we have 1,200 lifters going through in I think 11 or 10 sessions. That is 120 lifters per session. The warm-up room can get packed. So, and especially for this session, it's equipped. And they, you know, they have very specific needs with their knee wraps. They can only have it on for a specific period of time. So, seen as good courtesy. And hopefully that's what that lifter ends up doing. I didn't see who that was. But
Alina getting 3 reds there on her bench. And it looks like it may have been on technique there. Very similar weight selection here, around the 70 to 80 kilo range. Well, actually, range from 70 to 87.5, rather, for this range of second attempts on this flight. We see on platform 3, Alexander from Midland. Again, that crowd getting very loud. 162.5.
They're calm from Midland standpoints. But
actually,
the decibels, I'm sure, are still ear-shattering. So.
Platform 2.
And actually, they become silent, which also is another bench is full of courtesy, because they want to make sure that he's able to hear his press command. And if they're screaming during that, it can be a little disorienting. And it seems like we've actually had to adjust how loud our announcers are and a couple of the audio levels. And maybe I've had to go and quiet down the crowd to make sure that people are actually able to hear those press commands. Correct. It's a very, very difficult lift to perfect. Going 3 for 3 is actually a feat. Yeah. So our speakers and music were turned down for the bench press, and I'm sure that will not last long. Once we get to the deadlifts, there's one command, and that command is very visual. They're in front of you, so the house will be bumping when we get to the deadlifts.
Kenya here on platform 1, taking her second 2.5 key jump here. Now, you'll commonly see smaller jumps. You know, I say that, and then on platform 3, we saw a 15-kilo jump. Kenya fights through that sticking point and gets that bench. Let's see if it's a good lift here.
It's going to be a no lift on platform 2 with Julie Nguyen. Looks like she's cramping up on the back. That's got to be the worst when that happens.
Electrolytes. That was actually a very common thing that happened a year and a half ago at the Georgia Collegiate Cup, where everyone had gotten their gram of caffeine. And that, again, as we spoke last session, that's a diuretic, which means you are going to be dehydrated if you do not stay on top of your sodium, your potassium, magnesium. And if you don't stay on top of that, whether that be through LMNTs, which is what I use, or sometimes even just drinking salt water can help. I've definitely utilized that.
Big salt water enjoyer here.
But the bench is definitely prone to cramping, because all you're doing that entire rep is just building up tightness, building up that arch with your legs. And it can be tough to go out there and know that you have the strength and you're going to miss it on just your back cramping up. So shout out to the lifters. Keep your electrolytes up. Super duper important.
And here again on platform 1, as we mentioned, very similar weight selection. Actually, we'll be seeing 3 identical weight selections here for their second attempt of 87.5 after this 85-kilo bench. But as you'll most likely see, the technique very different, all the way from the setup to how they set their hands, how they set their arch. I mean, very individualized. And I would say there isn't really a right or wrong in terms of how it should look.
I agree.
It's more, are you doing the right things to produce the most force?
And there's so many different things that can account into a lifter's leverages on the bench press. First and foremost, your arm length is extremely important. Oftentimes you'll see that huge benchers aren't going to come out with the most staggering deadlifts because, and it can happen, I'm not.
Right.
But more likely than not, your leverages on that lift are going to have a serious effect, especially on the bench press. The length of your torso can even kind of help how high you can arch. I know that I have a shorter torso, but a couple lifters that I know have long arms but a long torso, so they are able to get that short ROM. Bench maxing, yeah. So here comes out Ashley Hayes with 87.5 kilograms on platform 1.
And me, oh my, is that a 200-kilogram bench opener I see on
your
platform
eyes
4?
do not deceive you, UV. That is a 200-kilo bench opener for Lawrence Jones on platform 4. But do stick around because it just gets heavier and heavier from there.
Ashley smoking her second attempt there, making 87.5 kilos look like an opener.
Lawrence, oh my goodness. That was not a weight. So if you can see it, the chalk on his back is very, very high. That's a pretty common theme here. Where on the squat, you're going to chalk a lot of your back. You want to, the bar needs to be encompassed by that chalk. But on the bench, you almost kind of need the higher part because that's the part that's going to be touching the bench. If you have a very technically proficient bench press, you're going to be on the back of your neck, a lot of pressure on your head, and you don't need your lat area covered in chalk because if it is touching the bench, that's not where most of the force should be pressing into the bench press.
Not at all. And there on platform 3, very good lift there. 172.5 keys for a second attempt.
Jenny Hernandez on platform 1, 87.5. I think the second of our 3 lifters doing that in a row.
Different tech, very high arch here, and a very low, much lower touch point.
Elbows well above the shoulders. No elbow depth rule here because that's goofy. And she gets 3 white lights. Yes, sir, Jenny Hernandez.
Mario walking out for 177.5. Platform 3. And another 200 kilo bench opener. 205 now for Jace on platform 4. And 90 keys there. And Julissa, the white Power Ranger.
Come on, Julissa.
87.5 to cap out this range of second attempts. Let's see it. Another
slides into the bench. I love that. Building the pressure on the back of the neck.
Very high arch.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Julissa.
This is tech maxing.
Tech maxing.
Big rib expansion with the big breath in. A soft touch. A little bit of up and down maybe, but I think maybe 1 red, 2 whites would be my prediction. I was wrong. Looks like the head ref saw it too. But on the left side, she didn't. So that's why she got that 1 light. That's tough. It really depends where that head ref is looking at. They were looking at the left or at the right, but it was a little too obvious that time. But very good attempt. 1 white. You can count that as a gym max. When people ask you what your bench press is, I'm giving that number most definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
A nice catch from platform 4 after the bar almost slipped out of Jace's hands.
Oh.
Up next is Giovanni Juarez on platform 4, representing Midland with 207.5 for his opener. On platform 3, we have Joshua Rumsey, who clears his second attempt bench. And after him is Alexander Craig, representing Louisiana Tech, onto 182.5 for his second attempt. Chloe Beasley on platform 2, getting ready to bench 92.5 keys for her opener. And the Gator Olivia Wilson here to clear 72.5 keys for her. A bit of a grind. Looks like it's going.
That was incredible.
And it's there.
I didn't see any up and down. That is a calm 3 white lights for her opener.
Giovanni rather showing how hard it is to fight that bencher. And you can see on the way down, very, very difficult. I feel like soft touching as it is already requires a good amount of bodily awareness, but against a bencher.
Ooh, 1 white though.
Throwing it. You only got 1 white because it's the up and down motion. But still, so difficult to get that soft touch as a equipped bench shirt. lifter. And here, I think we've been seeing a lot of softer touches to this day. I think it might change probably
When it's raw, yeah, when raw.
I mean, starting tonight onwards, when we head into the heavier weight classes, we might see more of a sinking fashion. But so far, you're seeing that feather touch style. And Alina here on platform 1.
And Jackson here on platform 3 with 230 kilograms. That's 507. His head comes up, which is legal nowadays.
Legal.
Now legal.
That's been legal for, I think, a year now or something like that. And he gets 3 white lights. That was clean. He's got another 7.5 to 10 kilos in him after a calm 12.5 kilo jump, which to a lot of people could seem large, but this is 500 pounds we're talking about. If you're trying to bench 496, I wouldn't personally want to take a 490 last warm-up.
Yeah.
So these large jumps make sense in the context of this humongous amount of weight being lifted out here.
And now, you know, when it comes to the equipped bench press, again, with that bench shirt, there's like almost a window of sorts when it comes to how you can execute the lift. If the weight is too light, you know, you're not really too light for you to actually row down for you to get to touch the actual bottom of the bench press. But if it's too heavy, while you might be able to go down and hit the bottom of the movement, you're not going to be able to press it. And I think it makes equipped lifting a lot more intricate.
Yeah, there's just
like
so many things you have to pay attention to.
As much as you might hear a lot of powerlifters joke about, you know, oh, equipped is different because you have assistance. I don't think so. I mean,
That
so much more.
assistance isn't actually helping you.
It's not.
At first when it's coming down, because you're actually trying to pull it towards your chest.
I want you to try rowing 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's enough.
Now pipe down.
Haley getting ready to walk out with a 75 bench as we are moving in to our thirds here for platform 1.
Here's Elizabeth going on with her second on platform 2, getting set to bench 77.5 keys for her second attempt. And Christopher Davidson set to walk out to 157.5 keys. That's right, for his third attempt bench. But it just gets heavier as platform 4 is about to bench 217.5 keys for his opener. It gets heavier, by the way, just so you know.
Just so you know, they have 2 more attempts where they get to go up.
Yeah.
Here's round 217, 480. Head comes up, again, legal. A little bit of a sticking point as the force transfers from the bench shirt back into his arms. I'm sure that's a pretty common sticking point.
Christopher.
And 2 white lights. He gets that. He will be going up.
Getting 3 whites on that third right there. Way to execute. Amazing work. And Abigail retaking this second for a third. You know, talk about redemption lifts. The mentality is always different. Chip on your shoulder. Can she execute here?
Con.
Unfortunate. Looks like may have lost tension at the chest there. Caitlin, meanwhile, on platform 2, taking 77.5 keys. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, she's
looking like an opener.
Taking 77.5 for a ride is what you meant to say,
Yeah.
not for an attempt.
Now, I believe Zachary here, this is a raw bench press of 157.5 keys.
Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach.
A little bit of a sticking point.
Oh,
Too much.
what a
Lets the spotters
fight.
and loaders take him to safety.
And that crowd getting loud for the Midland University lifter here on platform 2.
Yep.
Kenya.
The Midland pop.
Kenya taking another 2.5 key jump for 85 keys. Let's see how the smaller jump fares here. Longer range of motion. High touch. Can she execute?
Wow.
Yes.
She had more.
Definitely.
She most definitely
Very
had
well
more.
done.
Callie on platform 2. The Midland pop came 85 kilograms, and it was just a little too much.
Travis, after missing 160, decides to take that 10-kilo jump on platform 4. Let's see if he gets it.
Yeah, that is, I think, kind of calls back to something that UV was telling us about earlier. Maybe it was just too light. That is a real possibility that can happen in equipped lifting. It's
Oh, on the money.
Yeah.
On the money. On the money. Very good call there.
He exploded that. There was no chance that 170 was going to get the better of him.
Platform 1, Julissa, the white Power Ranger here, getting ready to retake the second. Very good touch. Can she execute on the press? And on platform 1, we are closing out our bench press attempts right here with a 90-kilo bench press, pushing into that 200-pound range.
Neighboring that 200-pound range. That's going to be 198 pounds. Where login on platform 2 is going to be hitting 203 for her second attempt.
Big benches here. Oh my goodness, can she get through it?
Run. Fortunately, she doesn't.
Lindsay pushing.
Come on, Lindsay.
Oh my goodness, she was going to break through the sticking point. Can she get the other? What a fight. What a fight. Let's see if the judges grant this a good lift.
Oh, it looks like a lot of yellow lights.
Looks like that's up and down motion there, most likely on the press.
No motion. Her butt could have gone off the bench.
Well, I don't know if the head ref is going to catch that. The head ref gave blue and yellow.
Yeah, correct.
So, yep.
Sorry, just a little correction. Up and down would be a blue light. So, possible, as Ben mentioned, loss of contact with the bench there.
Leanne smoking 95 kilograms. She has officially broken into the 200-pound bench presser club. That is an impressive feat to accomplish.
Very, very impressive. Let's see if Ashley can get it here. Up. Unfortunately, it wasn't there. Here's our other white Power Ranger that we forgot to mention, Sarah Wilker, on platform 2 with 95 keys. She's set to bench.
This is big. This will be our first, well, on platform 1 actually. Jenny taking 92.5, our guest lifter. Still could register our first successful plus 90-kilo bench press on platform 1.
Plus 200 pound.
Up, come on, Sarah.
Little bit out of reach there.
Maybe a little bit too much was loaded for her. Up next, platform 3, Peyton Middies, going for 175.
Does he have 5 keys in him?
Oh,
yes.
He did. He did, absolutely.
Grinder from Keelan.
Keelan Donovan breaking into the 400-pound group
Amazing
on his
work.
second attempt. I don't think he has too much more, but I do think he does have another attempt in him, a 2-2-5. And on platform 4, still Jace Pellegrin is going to be retaking 205 kilograms. That's 452 pounds, which is an absurd amount of weight. That's nearing the 4.5-pound plate club, which we are huge enjoyers of.
And we are done with the bench press on platform 1. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be taking a 10-minute intermission before we move on to, I believe, one of the best lifts of the event, the deadlift. So
I'm in full agreement with you there.
please come back in and watch the deadlift in about 10 minutes. And we can take a look actually at some of our rankings for the teams so far. And as an update in women's raw, still very close between those top 3, 42, 41, and 40 points.
What are the teams?
A&M,
Yeah, there you go.
UTSA and Midland. So still a lot of game left to play, and a lot of these teams have not registered any points yet from some of their athletes, so we might be able to see that move around.
No, absolutely it will be moving around. I'm sure, actually, I kind of want to look at some of the women's 82.5 projected placings after the subtotals have been registered.
While you look at that, I'm going to pay attention to Lawrence Jones' 210-kilo bench on platform 4. He did ask for a liftoff here. Let's see if he gets it. Start commands there. The press, and it flew. We might see 220. We just might see 220.
220
for a
would be
third attempt.
ridiculous for a third attempt on a bench press. And we are breaking into the 100+ kilo range here. Monster bench on platform 2 for a second. Isabella with 105.
Come on, Isabella. Here's Mario Martinez on platform 3, getting set with a 182.5 kilo bench for his final bench of the day. A smooth bench from Isabella on platform 2.
On platform 3, also a relatively smooth bench, hopefully.
Finally gets it.
I don't know about smooth there,
that.
but 402 pounds did get the work.
Oh, let's go.
For Mario Martinez.
Very well done.
And a solid bench from Caleb on platform 4, representing UTSA with 210 kilos that he just put back.
2 highlights.
Julie need this bench press, stay in the meet, and stop her from bombing out. 75 keys. Let's see how she does here. Can she make up and execute on this lift to stay in the meet?
This is to stay in the meet, dude. That is horrifying.
She needs this.
Oh!
Come on, Julie. Up, up.
A little too much for her. We'll see if she ends up taking deadlifts, but that is the end of her meet when it comes to registering a total. And again, speaking from personal experience, I know just how tough that can be. So Julie, this is not your last meet. Keep your head up, keep training.
Still got to pull.
Yeah.
Still can set a PR. Joshua taking 187.5 keys on platform 3 for his last deadlift.
Freaky bench on
Yeah,
platform 4
I
with
blinked and I
Giovanni.
missed it. I literally watched him go down, blinked, and I'm like, wait, where'd he go?
Now, on platform 3, we have a massive jump here. Jackson separating himself from the rest of the competition here. 242.5.
Yeah.
Coming up, loaded up for a third attempt bench. You like to see it. You like
Going
to see the
from
guts.
187 to 242. Those spotters and loaders, poor souls.
Poor souls. They have to load up all that weight. Joshua with the controlled descent. Right off his chest.
A healthy pause and a healthy lockout. That was very clean out of Joshua. He knows he has it. Get off the stage. You did a great job. And there, you can stay on the stage. You can celebrate. I meant get off because you knew you had it. That was clean. But now on platform 3, Jackson, Mobile.
Ridiculous. And again, I believe his teammate getting ready.
Oh, wow. The Javelinas.
Getting ready. Did bench, I believe.
He just missed 220. Just missed 220. Hopefully, Jackson is able to hit this. I don't know where the Javelinas are in the equip standings. Yuvi, do you have that on the top of your head?
This is Texas A&M.
Kingsville.
Kingsville. Thank you for that question.
Wow.
Let me check.
Amazing bench from
Wow.
Jackson, though.
Dude.
He had so much
Bro
left.
had 300 on the day. From judging from that, that was incredible. So my screen just changed, but Mobile looks like he is currently projected for first place in. This can't be right. This says he weighed 85.8 kilograms. He just benched 535. Sorry?
535 at sub 85.
It says, okay.
At sub
So
90?
he's an 82.
No, he's a 90, 85.8
Well,
kilograms.
he could have been an 82.
He could do a calm gut cut.
Little gut
maybe.
cut.
Yeah,
82.
sure.
85.8, and it looks like he's projected for first. He just got done benching 242.5, squatting 733, and his deadlift opener is nothing to scoff at 275.
And on platform 2, heading into the final of our thirds, as we see some of the top 10 women securing their own placements here in the 82 kilo division. And One thing to note here is
Yeah,
that
just pulled up the standings as well. It looks like Isabella has separated herself a little bit in the subtotal. She has a 487.5 kilogram forecasted total. What is the qualifying total, UV? I think you had that off the top of your head somewhere.
qualifying total is 492.5 Ps.
And that is no deadlift jumps and no bench jumps. So hitting the qualifying total after a second bench and a deadlift opener is pretty impressive stuff.
Yep.
Or, oh, I'm so, yeah. And then afterwards, we have Sarah Wilcher with 467.5 and Logan Frappoli with 452.5. And then very closely following her is Caitlin Corpus and Chloe Beasley. So these top 5 women, the podium threats are pretty close. You know, there's a lot left to go. Hopefully our deadlifters will come out and strive to make some big jumps and come back. But that is definitely something to take note of.
Oh my goodness.
Logan is back in the running with that 92.5 key bench.
There are those Midland horns. Oh yeah, very well said and observed by Bryce here. But this feels like the World Cup with all this vuvuzelas. I just need to make sure I'm saying that right. But that's a perfect way to describe it. I actually feel like I'm about to watch like a Brazil versus Argentina match right now with how much noise is going on. But a little more exciting is actually powerlifting.
Yeah. You said World Cup, and it took me a minute to realize it was soccer. Like
oh, no. We are so out of touch, but we are so in touch with powerlifting as Travis Menchaca is about to bench. He just did bench 175. That was flew out of his hands.
Yeah, he could have thrown that one into the ceiling, honestly. 3 white lights. He knew it. He walked off the stage. Didn't even have to see it. Very confident in that. After missing his opener, coming back and taking healthy jumps on the second and third will always impress me, equipped or not. That will always kind of, you know.
To have that much confidence.
Yeah.
For sure.
That you're just going to go out, ball, and execute. Like, that's tough. That's dog mentality right there.
Vincent on platform 3 is getting set to open of 160 on his bench.
And Sarah Wilcher, our Power Ranger on platform 2, is in second place right now. This would be a huge 7.5 kg, a little too much for her. With that 7.5 kg, that would have put her way closer to coming up on Isabella Steiner, who currently has a 20 kg lead. A 12 kg lead is a lot easier to pull. And Sarah is a deadlifter compared to Isabella, opening with 192.5. Man, the women's will be insanely exciting.
Very insanely
yeah, they're
exciting.
very tightly packed. And I only mentioned the top 5, but going down to 9th is 420. Like, they're within striking distance of that podium. Like, a deadlift missed and a deadlift hit could really, like, mess up these rankings.
Sure, a lot of these 82s we're seeing here longer armed, so could be indicative of some big pulls.
Yeah, Sarah Wilcher in second place. Only 2 for 6 right now. A little ambitious on her seconds and thirds. And it looks like she took a 7.5 kg jump on the bench and a 12.5 kg jump on the squat. Maybe if a 7 or a 5 was taken and that was hit, she would be right on Isabella Steiner's tail.
And Sarah also opening up the highest, I believe.
The deadlifter,
192. It's always the puller.
And
hey, honestly,
don't talk like that. And Chloe Beasley also in 5th place benching right now with a 5 kilo jump. 5 kilos can be aggressive on these sub 100 kg bench presses. That is a large percentage of the bench press.
Sure.
So let's see if she's able to pull it out.
An amazing grind from Keelan on platform 4. He gets it up. How do the judges like it?
Looks like Chloe was able to do
3 white lights with Keelan. That was an impressive bench by him. Here's Valeria of the Aggies getting set to bench 102.5. No easy feat here, as it is
226, bigger than most gym bros.
True.
kind of a monstrous.
It's not great. Yeah. It's like Wait, is it 226?
Yeah, it is.
What?
100's 220. 226.
Valeria here.
Tillman Hartner here with 419 pounds. Looks like he locked it out. I'm not sure about those elbows.
Valeria fighting and unable
They
to get
do give it to him, Tillman, on platform 4.
They do. The head judge was convinced. And I know sometimes that can just be how you're built. Like sometimes people are unable to lock out those elbows. Doesn't
Right.
matter. The lift is completed.
Now I believe you can approach the judges, demonstrate that you can't fully lock out your elbows if that's physically limiting. Although, again, the best way to get that start command is to ensure you can lock out your elbows.
Here on platform 4, Jace Pellegrin of the Raging Cajuns. He absolutely needs this 205 bench to stay in the meet and submit a qualifying total.
Jace on platform 4 with the necessary third attempt to stay in the meet.
Come on, Jace.
A long pause and he blew it up. Oh my goodness.
Very well done. And now Isabella missing that third bench, but really
3
only
white lights to stay in the meet. Sorry to cut you off.
No worries,
that is
no
a
worries.
huge bench press and a huge person to keep in the meet for your team.
And we conclude with the bench press on platform 2. And as we wrap up, we are seeing, I was just going to say there, Isabella missing her third bench, but only leaving 2.5 keys on the table. Still ahead of the pack there. But we can see it switch around when we get to deadlifts. That is the beauty of the sport.
Very much so. Platforms 3 and 4 are still roaring with bench as Caleb is set to come out to his bar of 215.
And while we have this
The deadlift is a simple and pure feat of strength. Once the bar is loaded, lifters have 60 seconds to begin moving. There are no start commands, and you can begin whenever you like. The lifter has to stand up with the bar with their knees locked, hips at full extension, and their shoulders back. Once they do, they'll get a down command and can guide the bar back down to the floor. Easy peasy. There are 2 deadlift styles. In a conventional deadlift, lifters grip the bar outside of their legs, or they grip the bar in between their legs with a wider stance, called a sumo deadlift. Each of 3 referees can give a red or a white light, and lifters need any 2 out of 3 white lights or better for a successful lift. There's a few reasons for a missed lift. It's a red card if they didn't stand all the way up with their shoulders back, or if they didn't lock their knees at the finish of the lift. It's a blue card if there is downward movement in the whole bar on their way up, or if they support the bar on their thighs to lever the bar up to lockout, sometimes called hitching or ramping. And it's a yellow card if they lower the bar before receiving a down command, or if they release or slam the bar to the floor, or if they lose balance and take a step by accident. Those are the rules of the deadlift.
Very soft touch.
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy press there. And on platform 1, Jacqueline smokes 140 as well. Very nice second attempt selection there. And we are about to start with deadlifts on platform 2 for those tuning in. The deadlifts will be beginning very shortly here. We're going to be seeing a lot of competitors here across the 82.5 women's raw categories and the equipped men's 90 to 100 and 110 as well. And again, Emily taking 142.
That was good. 142.
Very well done.
Here's Ricardo on platform 3 of Sam Houston State University. He's going for 180 kilos for his second attempt. See how it goes.
And he pressed this.
Press with ease. That's going to be 3 white lights. Olivia Chu going for 142.5. Bit slow on the way up, but a solid lockout.
Very well done. And, you know, with the sumo deadlift as well especially, you're going to see a lot slower movement and speed of the bar off the floor just because it's that much harder to break the ground. So don't be scared if some of these attempts look a little slow off the floor. A lot of our athletes are already used to that and know it's well within their reach.
Just got to keep on pulling.
Platform 3, big 190 kilo bench there from a UTSA athlete. Walking it off. I think he knows.
Erica with a speedy 145. That almost looked like an opener. I'm not going to lie.
For sure. And platform 2 has commenced lifting with Marco taking 75 keys. Getting that lift. Looks like he's just trying to register that total that he wants to be here. And that may be it for Marco, I believe. Thank you for at least coming out and competing. And if you are injured,
Thank you.
wish you the best.
Here's Brielle with the orange A7. 147 and a half keys. Getting set. Come on. Ooh.
Unable to break the floor there. And Andrew unable to completely lock out that weight at 190 keys.
It's tough to see, but he can definitely do it again.
Tommy here taking 195 kilos for his opener. Conventional.
Come on, Tommy.
Very well done.
Very easy. The horns are almost deafening in here on platform 3. Here's Micah going for 215 on platform 3 with Midland right behind him.
Lauren here. Lauren taking 155 on platform 1, breaking into the mid 300s. Okay, that was ridiculously fast. Could have been an opener.
Too fast for a second attempt. Can't wait to see her load up something crazy for a third.
And man, our spotters are moving at pretty quick speed, trying to load all the weight on the bench press here on platform 3. Love to see the urgency. You know, they're trying their best to be on top of it.
Here's Ian on platform 2, getting ready for a 210 deadlift. It's going to be 462. Representing the University of Texas at Austin.
Very well done there.
Nice deadlift from Ian on platform 2, and even greater deadlift from Sophie on platform 1.
Jason breaking into the 500s here. 232.5 kilo bench press. Let's see how he does. On platform 3.
Come on, Jason.
Trying to get that touch there. Gets the press command. Can he lock it out?
Very
yes,
fast. Nice.
Very well done.
Here's platform 1's Sophia getting set to do 165 for her second attempt deadlift. And Michael Bednar on platform 2 with 215 for his choice of opener.
Sophia, solid deadlift there. And, you know, again, as seen in earlier sessions, some of these deadlifts, the jumps in between the first, second, and third, it can really vary for the lifter. But I think on average what you'll see is that these second attempts look really easy for a lot of our lifters. Or it could be that they're just feeling very strong on the day. As you said before, as that taper hits.
Yeah, when the taper truly hits. And speaking of strong, here's Xavier on platform 3 getting set to bench 232 and a half.
Can he hit this? Yup.
Yup.
Very well done there.
Wonderfully executed. A fast deadlift from Gabriel from Auburn.
And now,
looks like on platform 4, deadlifts are underway shortly.
we are on to third attempts on platform 1 for the first flight. The energy is going to be shifting. I'm looking at the third attempts right now. We have a good range of weight loaded up. Let's see what our athletes have in store. A lot of these looking to get in on that 400 kilo total range.
Seems to be some confusion from Pedro on platform 2 as he didn't know which way to face for the deadlift. Here he goes. A fast opener of 222 and a half. Solid down for him. A good grinder from Riley, letting her complete 130. And a grinder from Joseph on platform 3.
Just a little too much.
Fortunate to see. A little bit of rhymes going on over here.
Oh, wow. The platform 1 is already on third deadlifts. They are sprinting through far ahead of the other platforms. And that is something that, as a handler, you have to pay attention to. Your platform, you could be warming up with someone on platform 4. It doesn't matter. Your platform is going on in 3 minutes. You need to get your warm-ups in.
Yeah, you definitely have to pay attention as a handler and as an athlete.
Yeah.
And make sure that you have enough time. Here are the Bearcats with Morgan, 135 for her final choice of deadlift for the day. See how she does it.
297, basically 300. Got the work.
Nice.
I'd say 300 was more than there. Incredible, brilliant stuff out of Morgan. 2 white lights.
Great job for the day, Morgan.
Not sure what that red would have been. I thought that was one of the most beautifully executed lifts. Hopefully just a typo by the ref. Hunter slamming down 217. One thing that I've gotten caught for a little is actually pushing the weight into the floor as you drop it down if you get a little too hype. A lot of our lifters, I didn't get reds for it, but I did get a comment from the head judge saying, hey, we will give you reds if you do that again. It can be hype after a deadlift, you know, picking up some of the heaviest weight you ever have in competition on your 1.2 grams of caffeine after hitting salts, but you still have to have the mental fortitude to wait for the down command, follow the bar to the floor, you cannot let go of it, and you are not allowed to slam it into the ground. That's all for lifter safety. That's where a lot of the rules come from. That's why there's rack commands on both the squat and bench. That's why there's rack commands on deadlift. That's why up and down commands exist. Have you, I've seen a couple instances where there's been some wobble, some up and down on deadlift. Lifters try to fight through it, but their balance has kind of left. And I've seen at Raw Nats some pretty gruesome injuries occur.
Ooh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So there is a lot of lifter safety rules, which sometimes can feel frustrating. Like, why can't I slam the bar into the ground? What happens if it bounces up, falls on your foot, and you break your toe? So just something to pay attention to. Right. Tyrone Addison with an easy 220 opener, slamming the bar.
Slamming the bar. I think a judge is definitely going to say a more comment about it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't do it again.
And Mark Anthony Gonzalez with one of the craziest bench grinders I've ever seen. His left was essentially locked out while his right was still touching his chest. I guess there was some up and down. He did lock it out. That's a gym lift if I've ever seen one. One that I'm going to go tell my friends about, most definitely. Still hit his opener. Still in the meet.
Here's Emily going for 147.
Wow.
Solid deadlift from her. She's proud of that.
Yeah, very happy with that one. What a great feeling after hitting a third deadlift. That was hard, and you don't even have to wait for the lights. You knew that you hit that. The confidence.
Confidence to just not even turn back to look at the screen.
Just do your sellies. Initiate the selly.
Here's Miles going for 240 for his first attempt. It's a grinder for Vincent on platform 3. He
shaking
gets it up,
his
though.
head on the bench. That's tough.
He knows. He knows.
Oh, Miles made light work at 240. Another blink it and you'll miss it moment. I'm sure he's going to make an aggressive jump. 260 is most definitely in range for the second attempt.
A grinder for Erica. She needs it. Oh, just not enough. So close, though. Often. The rolling started.
I think the reason you don't see that often is the level of finicky raises. It's possible if you're a little more hype, you roll it in a little faster. That can throw off your center of mass. Your velocity is kind of tracking backwards at that point. Some people like the roll because as you lift the bar off the floor, your center of mass will pitch forward a little bit very naturally. As more, your shoulders are in front of your hips oftentimes, which is going to be the main driver of force. So that rollback, I can see the advantage. I think it's probably not worth the consistency gains that you get from a static hold or a static start. But hey, to each their own. You hit the lift.
Yeah, exactly. To each their own. A speedy deadlift from Jonathan from UPIT on platform 4. Olivia unfortunately doesn't make 150. A good fight though. And here's Ricardo with a 2.5 key jump, a small jump on platform 3. Let's see
He's
if
here
he
for
can
the
inch
402.
that out. Come on. Up, up.
Clean.
Very good attempt selection there. Sophie getting set for 165 for her final goal of the day. With Tommy also getting set for his second attempt with 205 on platform 2.
Very clean. Lots of deadlifts getting completed. I'm seeing a lot of green when I look at LiftingCast. That is, you know, not always the case when it comes. I've definitely seen some meets where the board's looking 50% red, but for a national meet with the strictest of judges, some insanely strict standards, I'm seeing a lot of green, to be honest, in these openers.
Lots of green and very good consistency. Oh, Sophie could not get the lift on her final attempt. She can overturn. Let's see if she does. A fast lockout from Gabriel. He brought the sunglasses back out. He was 32.5. Okay, Gabriel. Okay.
Bro knows he's tough. Ian Carrion with 217, a small 7.5 kg jump. Not small, but a healthy.
Healthy 7.5. Here's Sam Quinn on platform 3, going for 187.5 for his final bench of the day.
Have we mentioned baby powder and the effect that it plays?
We have not yet.
Okay. As I look to my left, it looks as if something is burning, something's on fire, but really all that it is, it's not smoke, it's baby powder. And what baby powder often is useful for is when you get near the lockout of your deadlift, start sticking to your quads, especially our big squatters I know have that issue with gigantic quads. And basically it reduces the friction between the bar and your legs, allowing for an easier lockout. That is not chalk. I know that.
Is not chalk. You know,
Yeah.
when I was walking back there earlier, I thought my soul was deteriorated, like it was gone.
Yeah.
But I checked my feet. Nope, my soles are still there. It's just like the ground is covered in baby powder. Here's Sophia with a very good 175. Even her and her coach are so excited for that. We'd love to see that connection.
Post-lift sellies are one of the best feelings in the world. I've had a lot of experiences with it from a handler standpoint. I had 2 lifters go yesterday, and doing that like after hitting a big third, that's so much fun.
So much fun. It's very much needed.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Melina, 175, a 2.5 kg jump.
Come on, Melina.
Feet touching as she
Lifts. Come on, pull it through. You're almost there.
Oh, and a tilt to the side.
Ooh.
One of the downsides of that extremely, extremely close stance is that side-to-side balance can be a little difficult. You don't have a big base, and so the center of mass has to be a little bit more exact as you lift the weight, especially near lockout.
Melina's going to wrap up flight, the first flight of second session. We're on to our second session with Jalissa, our white Power Ranger, about to walk out and do her opener.
If I remember
140.
correctly, is our second place candidate right now. Sorry, I am not remembering correctly. It is the other Power Ranger.
The other Power Ranger, Sarah, who is our second place candidate.
Yeah, Julissa, not to be laughed at, 12th place. She does have the possibility to score, I think. Oh, sorry. I lied.
Not yet, unless she goes for a very, very heavy pull that is just out of her reach.
Yeah.
She could score 2 points for her team.
Very pretty.
Very
Confident
good there,
308. 2 reds for Lane on his second. It looks like different calls, so it's possible to go to the jury table and say, which one was it? You know, you would have get 2 whites.
Right.
That would be the arguing point I would use. I've never actually went to a jury and tried to overturn a lift, so I don't know exactly what the...
Not yet. Ooh. So on platform 3, the subtotal between who was
Sorry,
it?
I think it's Giovanni and Roan, or... Sorry, no, Jason and Micaiah. The 110 collegiate equipped
5
men's.
kilos apart.
Yeah, 802.5 and 787.5. Sorry, I'm actually illiterate. That looks like 15.
It is 15. No.
These are forecasted
it's gonna
totals we're looking at.
It's forecasted, but it's good. The battle's between Micaiah and Sam, actually.
Yeah.
787 and 782. That forecasted 3rd and 4th place. Here's Jason coming for his 237.5 bench.
Wow. Look at that touch.
Great bench. Ooh. There goes that J pattern.
And again, for those of you watching the stream, if you actually want to catch up and look at the rankings for yourselves, you can open up LiftingCast. Is it liftingcast.org? LiftingCast.com.
I'm looking at some local hosts on my computer here.
But go to liftingcast.com. It's the first link you'd find on Google, and you can open up USA Powerlifting Collegiate Nationals Day 3. It will have each and every platform there so you yourself can see exactly what's on the board here and look at the numbers and keep up with the pacing. Would highly advise it if you're unable. And here, Ramathai taking his second attempt at his opener weight. Can he?
Oh, a little bit up and down.
Up
He's going to
and
have to
down.
take that for a 3rd. He has battled adversity all day with the opening squat. He was unable to take his opening squat
Correct.
due to the knee wraps being on for far too long after dealing with the previous lifter's difficulties with loading the weight.
Correct.
And now, after 2 missed deadlifts, he's going to have to come back and dial in. So a bit of turbulence for him. But I'm sure he can come back and get it. It looked like strength is there. He just needs to make the technical change, make that lockout a little more convincing.
Alex there with a good lift for a second. And now on platform 3, we are done with the bench press event. Moving on to the deadlifts in the next 10 minutes. We're going to take a short break here. So thank you so far for all of you that have been tuning in. We will be back in 10 minutes. Please stick around and watch that. And for those watching the stream right now, shout out to A7 again. You are watching a presentation of their new deflection collection.
Oh, deflection collection.
Exactly, yeah. I'm spitting bars right now.
Where can I buy their new deflection collection?
If you are interested in getting the deflection collection, you can go to a7.co, or better yet, go get it in person here. They have a stand at the venue.
Church.
Here.
Olivia Wilson on platform 1, opening up with 336. That's crazy. That's above the 3-plate mark. Again, would draw eyes in any, commercial gym.
Any gym.
And it's her opener.
Yeah.
There's only room to go up.
Georgia local looking to get hype for his second attempt on platform 2, Jared Miller.
Olivia there.
Olivia might have an issue here. 2 reds. I think she slack pulled off the floor.
She was so strong. She got.
So I would guess that she's going to jump hopefully 20 kilos for herself. That was a bit too easy for her.
It's all good.
As you can see if you are still staying or on platform 3's live stream, as you can see, these are the dates for our regional meets. These regional meets are going to be your last chance qualifiers into USAPL Raw Nats. If you win Raw Nats, or if you win regionals at any of these meets, then you'll get 50 kilos taken off of the qualifying total.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That is some huge.
So these are the higher stakes. Now, regional meets are a lot. I mean, they are the second highest level meet after nationals.
Yeah.
So if you want a very high level production at a meet and you're willing to battle it out with some of the best lifters in your surrounding states and get that handicap, definitely.
Gabriel with the glasses, a little bit of a technical difficulty at the top. I think he's going to get 3 white lights. Of course he does. 255, that's 562. That is some crazy weight.
That is a lot of weight. And Kenya getting 3 whites there for her opener on platform 1. Looking to see how these placings move around.
Grinder from Tommy on platform 2. Unfortunately, he did not get it. Good fight, Tommy. Up next on platform 1, Alina's getting set to do her opener. That she nuked. What? I blinked and I missed it. What? Here on platform 4, Jonathan Ricklin from University of Pittsburgh makes easy work of 2.
I'm investing in Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh singlet stocks right now. That is something about it, man. They've been having a day so far. And Ian here on platform 2, 3rd attempt, 225 keys here. 5 plates, pretty much just there,
just above. And
Very
he
nice.
locks it out. A little bit of a wiggle there, but no up and down. That should be good for 3 white lights. Yes, it is.
Congrats. Very good day for Ian, considering
the
obstacles he went through in that squat throughout the day. Great
Josh
job.
on platform 4, 262, lightning quick hip shoot and wedge in, smokes 262.5.
Amy Dwan marching out to 160 for her opener. Let's see how it goes. She goes for a slag.
Yeah,
Oh my.
lovely. That is some of my favorite. I'm such
Beautiful.
an enjoyer of extremely technical deadlifts that are executed to perfection. That toe to plates, the hook grip, everything about
It's not
it.
easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all.
I am, however, also a fan of Hayden Aaron's 267.5 with as close. Okay, shoots the arrow. A close stance conventional deadlifter.
Very well done. That's
Yeah.
a good lift. Ashley here, very smooth 162.5.
A little wobble. I don't think it'll be a problem, however. It was a problem, unfortunately. That is the easiest of fixes. She'll come back, maybe even put in a 5 to 7 kilo jump and smoke that
Most
second. I
definitely.
have no doubt.
For sure. Here's Pedro going 235 for his final pull of the day.
Notice the wrist wraps. He is pulling mixed grip, which means one hand over, one hand under, and that requires a bit of forearm strength, and the wrist wraps help kind of press your tendons in. And if you just press your tendons on your hand, you'll notice that your fingers curl over. So it's one of the more interesting things that I've seen and learned,
I
but
did not know that at all.
really?
I am now 1% smarter. Thank you, Ethan.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, so if you see some of the legends like Ashton Ruska,
Right.
and, there's a couple of people who use that at the top end. I think most people just train forearms, but, it can probably add a 2.5 to 5 kilo if your grip strength is giving out right where your real strength
Most
is. It
definitely.
can be beneficial. They're not just goobers, I promise.
There always is something. And sometimes, it's just that mental assurance, as you said.
Yeah, Gabriel right there with 242.5.
Julia, 145, locks it out. Will this get a good lift from the judges? I believe it
think
will.
so.
Solid lift from Jalissa.
Nice. Now,
Okay, let's turn our attention to platform 2. This has been one of our favorites throughout the meet.
yeah.
Promethi. I did not say that right, and I haven't all day. Just know that we wish, if we could, we would.
we would, but oh man, we have been behind him the entire time. He needs this deadlift to make sure he registers a total here.
Yeah, and
in
after
the
all the
game.
adversity that he battled through squats, you can't leave this building with a 0 kilogram total.
Yeah, sure. We'd love to
Asking
see
spotters and loaders, sorry UV, but
No.
asking the spotters and loaders to move the bar. After a little bit, these are big weights, and it's gone through a couple of sessions. The wood is a
sure.
little dented. Asking the spotters and loaders to move it to a spot where it's maybe a little less dented.
it. Rocking the
on.
Sabos, I believe.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's got the Sabos.
It was
I call them Sabos.
Sabos, Sabos. I don't really know, but one of the more rare.
Tomato.
Yep.
Here he goes.
Tomato, tomato. Is he gonna pull this? Let's see it.
He's taking his time. I respect it. Yes, sir.
Very
There.
strong wedge.
Up,
Very balanced. Can he lock it out?
It,
Come on.
up.
That is so
Oh, and Spotters checking in on him.
Yep, he seems to be okay. I'm guessing he went until his hands literally ripped apart. Yeah, he's looking at a torn callus there, I'm sure.
It's gotta hurt.
Hey, you know what? What is sports without adversity?
Exactly.
He'll come back. I guarantee it. He's massively strong, as we saw on the squat. I don't have platform 2 pulled up, but you could tell us what he squatted and benched. I'd be curious.
Of course, as a reminder for those who may not have been able to tune in the beginning, he was able to squat. As I get this pulled up.
I'm so sorry to put you on the spot like
that. An astounding, an astounding 260 keys.
Yeah.
And was able to bench 135 as well.
Yeah.
So very, very strong individual. So much to control for execution on the day.
Yeah.
And Tyrone smokes 242.5. Emphatic. Hits the jersey point. He knows. Hits the jersey point on the back.
Here's the Gator, Olivia, with a strong 160.
Will that count? Will the judges give it a good lift?
Yeah, jumping up after an opener. 2 white lights.
Love to see it.
She stays in the meet.
250 kilograms here for Ashton. I feel like 250 is definitely a landmark.
I can agree with that. 551 also just bumping up on the.
Yep. Closer to 600 than you are to 500.
That's what I'm saying.
Haley's very fast, 160, holding it at the top. Not letting the judges know that she has control of the bar. Very easy. Ashley here taking 167 for a second.
I remember she had the slightest of bobbles well past her lockout.
Ashley.
Arguably, even after the down command, it was so late.
For sure.
Just an anomaly. I said that she would probably jump. She had plenty. I think I said 20 kilos or something ridiculous. But a calm 5 kg to just make sure that she stays in the meet. I think that is a good decision. Retaking probably would have just been leaving kilos on the table.
Oh
Alexander,
my goodness.
so hyped after that third pull. Almost running over his handler.
That's a funny one.
Right now you can see the rankings for the equipped men. Midland is currently in first with 48 points. Texas A&M with 41 points, trailing right behind.
A clean third attempt by Samuel Buckner. 545, the 5.5-pound plates. He's excited about that one. He knows that was a monster.
There on platform 2.
Come on, Ashley. Let's go.
Get on the board here.
Oh yeah. As similar to last time.
Almost popped it off the floor there.
Yeah.
On that wedge.
Wedged it right off the ground. No worries there. She was never going to bomb out. That opener was appropriately selected. Just a little bit of a technical mishap. Ford Brandt on platform 4, 250. We're in these mid to high 500-pound marks. I'm sure it's not stopping there.
Definitely not. Some very big pulls, some human forklifts, as you might say.
Come on, Ford.
That is definitely a human forklift. Very easy 250 pull. And, oh yeah.
Great lift from him.
All excitement there. Miles from the University of Pittsburgh taking 267.5 keys. Very, very big pull here. Close to the plates. Hook grip.
This is my guy right here. Lovely execution. Strong lockout. Freedom hold.
Very well done.
Wow.
Clean. Should be 3. It is. Kenya.
Oh my goodness. I looked away for 1 second.
Yeah, blew up.
Yeah.
She's got more. After a 12 kg jump, too, that is nothing.
Thinking another 12, 10.
Yeah, I agree. 7 to 10.
Here's Duncan on platform 4 with a grinder 255.
A little too much, just overextended. Hard to take a 2.5 kg jump on a deadlift, but sometimes it's the right decision.
For sure.
Here's Lena going with a fast 170.
Yeah. Sets it down with the
gently.
Absolute utmost care for the barbell.
Now Jared here, Jared Miller on platform 2. Great guy. Met him in person a couple of times from KSU. Really coming into his own here as a powerlifter. And 275, quick turnaround from his last meet number of, I think, 272, if I'm not mistaken. He's been having a day so far. Getting into it. Come on, Jared.
Come on, Jared.
Big wedge here. Big force off the floor.
No.
Lost balance there. Very nice effort, though. I think it was a good call. Looked like it was good off strength.
Definitely was there.
A 17 kg jumps can sometimes be a little tough to predict. Jonathan Ricklin, platform 4, 267.5. That is 590 in pounds. Easy, light work.
And we have finally concluded with the bench press on deadlift on platform 3, and we're about to start deadlifts very soon here on platform 3. And we're sorry for the technical difficulties again. It's been difficult to switch back and forth with so much going on right now, the bigger sessions, and we appreciate your patience here. And here we have on platform 3, Alexander opening at the 227.5, 501.
With no patience, he smokes 501.
Now, when it comes to opener selection, sometimes the simplest way I've heard it described is that it should be a weight that you can hit if you were asked to just get out of bed and hit it.
Huh. Really?
And, you know what?
We should try that.
Valid. I should try it, yeah. we should try it. But definitely look at like the weight selection here has been very easy for these openers. Julia, our white Power Ranger, 150 here. Does she have 5 more keys in the tank?
Come on.
She does. That's there. Yes, sir.
Very well done.
She's excited about that one.
Yes.
150 is a milestone.
Congratulations there. Or 17.5 on the day.
Aiden with a heavy 280. See how they'll give it.
Wow.
3 white lights.
Let's go.
Platform 2, heading into our heavier weights here for our 82.5 division, opening around that 150 mark. And again, looking a little forward, I do see 190 as an opener for multiple athletes there today.
That's absurd.
Where will we end up? Only time will show us, but it's still absurd.
Here's Mario with 235. Looking real easy for him.
Joseph Garza, 215. Nice little fancy little movement there. Smokes 215. Absolute smoke show.
Just stands up with the bar.
That's all you got to do.
Stand up, bro.
Just stand up. Just like how Isabella stood up on platform 2. 3 white lights of her opener.
Chloe Beasley, I believe, is in platform contention. That's a name that
Correct.
She is in 6th right now. It looks like she's in the middle of the pack for deadlifters, so she might need some aggressive jumps, might need someone to miss, but she is most definitely going to need to make this look easy so that she's able to load something for her 3rd to get her into the podium. Oh, goodness, did she convince me.
Oh. That was so fast.
I am convinced.
But again,
That's
I mean,
podium threat.
3rd, 4th, and 5th place here on platform 2, all within 2.5 keys.
Oh, gosh.
I believe on forecasted total.
On forecasted total, it's 10 kg. Oh.
On 3, 4, and 5.
2 through. Wow, everyone is 2.5 kg apart from each other.
So very,
From
very
2 through
close.
6. Yeah, Chloe could easily just find herself high podium.
Exactly, yeah.
If some of these higher ranked individuals start to miss deadlifts, but
Here's Zach Weekland going for 255. Solid opener for him.
Zach Strongland.
Zach Strongland, you snatched that out of my waiting for someone to make that.
It was low-hanging fruit, man. I had to.
Yeah. Lindsay, 167.5 keys. Is she able to finish the lift?
Shoulders back. That's tough to do whenever your knees are locked out and all you have left is your glutes and lower back erectors just trying to finish the lift for you. That's not easy.
Amazing.
Oftentimes your center of mass is going to be on your toes.
100%.
And you're just like praying that you're
Not easy at all.
Travis, a little bit of a technical mishap there at the top.
Valeria, easy opener. Looks like she has a lot more to go.
For sure. Alexander Craig getting set up on platform 3 with 255, his opener, as Keelan marches out for 235 for his opener as well. Fast opener from Alex on platform 3.
Haley here getting ready to take her third of 167.5 keys. Some big weight being thrown around here. And Haley's
got a strong support system.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some screamers in the crowd, which I love and appreciate, for real.
Oh.
Yeah,
nice,
wow.
Haley. Smiling at the top.
She made her support group very
that
happy
was
with that one.
ridiculously easy. 7.5, man, she probably had another couple of kilos there for sure.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or maybe looking to just secure a total. And that leaves her with 412.5 kilos on the day. Congratulations, Haley.
I could be mistaken, but did you say the qualifying total was 492, or is that for Raw Open?
That is for Raw Open.
Okay, gotcha. What's the QT for?
The junior QT,
No, not junior, collegiate. I'm curious what the collegiate is. I want to see just how much these people are demolishing. I can look it up.
The only collegiate QT I know off the top of my head is the 90 kilo QT.
Me too. I know the 82.5 Raw men's QT.
Don't ask.
6'10", but you know, the Raw men's is already over because we are with the Raw women's. Olivia Wilson, 170 kilos, looking real easy for her. Just slips.
The number's 332.5, by the way.
Yeah, ridiculous. Out of the water, pretty much.
Yeah.
Ashley taking a 10-kilo jump here. The confidence.
After missing the opener, taking a 5 into the 10, that's risky, taking a bigger jump between your second and third, as Ben and I talked about earlier.
But I believe maybe she's just too strong.
Well, I mean,
a lot stronger than anticipated.
Something that you see after missing an opener. You want to take that conservative second. So most likely this is between her second and third attempts. Her top end might be a little higher. So I would actually expect this to get the business, if I'm going to be honest. Especially after watching how easy the second moved. But being conservative is...
Come on, Ashley.
Come on. Oh, yeah. Let's see if she gets the down command here.
Very confident lockout. I love to see it. That's the easiest rear right lights those judges have ever given in their lives.
Very well done. What an amazing job there. And a great day for Ashley. 425 as a total at the end of the day. Okay, we're heading into some very high numbers here in platform 4. 272.5 kilos for Rowan as his opener.
Yeah, Rowan is currently in second place on forecasted. He's going to need some crazy jumps to catch up to Lawrence, who is only 12 kg ahead of him. However, Lawrence, I must have missed something.
Oh, well, Zach's deadlift was so fast that when it flew up, he might have popped his finger.
Oh.
He was checking his finger as he was walking off the platform. After Zach on platform 3, we have Peyton Middies of Midland University. He's about to pull 287.5 for his opener.
Logan, currently projected in third, smokes 192.5. The White Power Rangers are out here representing with their A7 singlets, looking as tough as ever.
And then we didn't mention that Sarah is going to need a big deadlift here.
Sarah
Wilker on platform 2, the other White Power Ranger.
Yeah, who is currently in fourth. So 2 A7 all-white singlets in the top 5. That's pretty an interesting little tidbit right there. And that is still a close battle between 2 through 6, all separated by about 20 keys right now on the forecasted.
Leanne couldn't break the floor with 165.
Now Kenya here walking out, hometown favorite, 182.5 kilos. This will take her into, I believe, 10th place.
Wow, clean.
Very well done.
Yes. Kenya currently projected in 430.
Oh my goodness. Very excited.
Doing great today.
There are still deadlifts to be had.
Lawrence Jones to open with 320 kilos.
Yeah, Lawrence Jones currently in first place, but he does have 2 other lifters nipping at his heels. Currently, Lawrence Jones has an 872.5 forecasted total if you were to hit this. Roan and Giovanni both at 862.5 and 860.5. This is not over till it's over. The top 3 is not messing around. The 100 kg class, the closest of the 4 that we're currently watching.
For sure, Lawrence Jones cannot miss at all here.
A little bit of difficulty, and he needs some big jumps. He seems upset about it.
And Amy here getting that third on platform 1. And the noise from the crowd is just,
We've
man.
gone into duck calls, I think.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Atlanta.
Oh,
Oh,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
When I was walking around earlier, and I think I can kind of hear it right now, some guy had a bucket and some sticks, and he was
Oh,
just
yeah,
banging
He's
on it.
beating on that
That's
bucket.
definitely him.
That's so tough.
That's definitely him.
with the duck call.
Yes, all of it. It's all just one person.
It's all one person. All that noise you guys are hearing, it is all one person. But the cheers behind Midland and Alexander and his 242.5, that is an entire team. And he just stands up with it.
Easy third there on platform 1, and we're almost done here with our deadlifts for this flight on platform 1.
UTSA's Arthur Emerson makes quick work of 227 on platform 4.
Our last deadlift here, 185 for Rachel on platform 1. Pulling last is always a pleasure. Can she wrap it up?
Can she wrap it up? Everyone cheering for her.
This is the last deadlift of the flight.
Exactly. Come on, let's see it, Rachel. In the unique
407.
Adidas custom singlet. What a fast pull
Up.
off the floor.
Up,
Can she tuck her
Up.
pelvis and lock it out?
come on.
A little too much for her. She will end the day in 18th place out of, I'm actually not sure. I'd need to double check, but quite a bit of people.
And that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen, for platform 1. Great day of lifting so far. Thank you to all our competitors. Thank you to our sponsors. And thank you all for watching. If you want to look at some more lifting, please tune into the rest of our platforms. And apparently we're still trying to get through some technical difficulties on platform 2. Platform 3 and 4 are well and alive. As Holden,
250, 25 kg jump, locks it out. Probably going to take a smaller one to the
let's see what
third.
the judges say here. No lift there,
Probably
maybe for
going to
hitching.
take 250 for the third.
Valeria's deadlift on platform 2 got 3 white lights. Moving on to Caitlin. Caitlin with 190 for her second attempt.
His. Nice, calm, gentle set down. He is certain to take another large jump after that one. Here on platform 3, Andre needs this to stay in the meet. If not, he still has another attempt.
And unfortunately, if you are looking at platform 2 right now, they just lost the camera feed there. It's minor technical difficulty, but they're actively working to get it back up. So do not worry. We will try our best to give you the play-by-play on platform 2. And that being said, we have Isabella up next on platform 2 taking a 195 kilo opener. One of our heaviest, or rather 195 kilo second attempt. One of our heaviest attempts so far. And I see some more T100 kilo 200 kilo deadlifts coming up on platform 2.
As all of that is going on platform 4, we have Caleb of UTSA getting set to take 250 for a ride. And here's Alex making quick work of 265 on platform 3.
6-plate date, baby. Yes,
We
sir.
love that. Platform 2, Isabella's 195 was made with quick work. It is now Elizabeth's turn with 200 keys for her second attempt.
Drew Griffin on platform 3 with 267.5. That is 590 pounds. Quick wedge in. Flew off the floor. A little bit of slowness at the lockout. Didn't seem like anything he's not able to overcome 5 more kilos of. So I would expect a similar jump going to 272.5, which is 601 pounds.
Giovanni here.
Giovanni is, I believe, a podium threat for the men's 100 kg. Bombing out would be a huge hit to Midland standings. A good pull from my view. And a good pull from the judges' view as well.
And we are back on platform 2 here, just in time for a big 202.5 kilo pull
From Logan, and it looks like we lose it again.
No.
Ooh.
Unable to get that.
She is currently in 5th, and 6th place would need a 10-kilo jump. It looks like 6th place made a 15-kilo jump. Sorry,
Correct.
these are projecteds. I'm not going to do the math in my head, but
Still all
They're
very
close.
close. All
Very
very
close.
close right now.
These athletes have been working so much harder than us. Like,
Hey, yo.
I don't know,
They've
I'm
been
working
working
pretty hard.
they're working so much harder than us. And here's
Sarah
Sarah taking the
Wilcher.
American
Sarah.
record attempt.
Oh my
What?
goodness.
That easy?
Okay, the all-white A7 singlet has confirmed raw powers.
Yeah.
They are.
It's confirmed to make you a deadlift specialist.
She currently has a strong case for the 2nd place finish, followed very closely by Caitlin Corpez with the same forecasted total. However, Sarah does get to put in a 3rd deadlift, so if she pulls, she will likely, if everyone hits their 3rds, she'll be winning. And then also closely followed by Chloe Beasley, 465, exactly tied with Logan, who had just missed and is going to retake. Wow, every single one of these placings are decided by less than 10 kilos. That's insane.
Jackson just broke the American total record for the 90-kilo equipped class.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jackson.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. What was the total?
850 is what it's at right now.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Oh me, oh my.
He was the one who benched 535 at 85.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, with absurd strength like that comes absurd records like the 82.5 equipped.
Well said. 290 here on platform 4.
275 is a bit of a struggle for Zach.
Bit too much. 20 kilos is a gigantic percentage of those 600-pound. You tend to see 20-kilo jumps in the 800 range. 20 kilos, I think, is a little aggressive at the 600 range. Proved.
And again, I mean, session 1,
Session 1 did prove
we
us
saw
wrong.
a 30-kilo jump.
Yeah. I mean, we saw 105-kilo jump.
Yeah. And awards will follow for this session on platform 3 once lifting has concluded. So,
Zach Fowler with 295 exploded off the floor.
dang, that
He's
was
going to touch
fast.
something that starts with a 3. I'm almost certain of it. There is no doubt on that one.
Mitchell unable to get 295 there. Very good fight. Now, again, with these larger calls, you cannot go back down in weight after you've registered that as an attempt. So let's see what happens here. It's either a match or he goes up.
Midland is gathering all of their energy and sending it to Peyton for his 295 second attempt on platform 3, while a world record attempt is being attempted on with Lawrence Jones on platform 4 with 327.5 kilos.
And now the energy has shifted. Everything is getting more tense here. seems like the entire Midland crowd is gathering.
He's currently in second place, trying to keep Drew Griffin and Joshua Rumsey off his tail.
Isabella here also on platform 2, looking to widen the gap between her and the rest of the 82s. Can she clinch this? Unable to.
Lawrence Jones needs this deadlift in order to hold off everyone else and for him to take first place. He needs to perform perfectly with this second deadlift and his third attempt. He needs this 327.
Oh
Clean
my
out of Lawrence.
goodness.
Not too much left, and he does have Rowan and Giovanni nipping at his heels, under 10 kg away from him. They are going.
Oh,
Lawrence
crown me. Crown me.
Lawrence
Hitting the Perkins celebration.
They still have thirds to go.
I know.
And Rowan and Giovanni are sitting and staring, waiting for Lawrence Jones. 327, it was solid. He does not have a huge jump left. There's going to be some jockeying for position. I'm certain of it. Some third attempt changes, which always will like put hairs up on my arm staring at the LiftingCast.
And on platform 3.
Sorry, no, platform 2, Chloe Beasley, 180. She's currently in 4th place on projected.
This will.
And everyone is so close. I think if she misses. Yeah. And so if Caitlin were to miss, Chloe would win on body weight. So she's hoping to hit this, match the total, see Caitlin miss, and she would take away a 3rd place.
Let's see it, Caitlin.
Come on, Chloe.
Oh my, a little too much.
Unfortunate there. Holden trying to finish that 3rd pull here with 250.
Does he get it?
Unfortunately not.
Looks like Callie on platform 2 went from 165, jumped 12 and missed it. Another 5 kg, hoping to get into 8th place.
Making that top 10 break. Very important here. Let's see.
Especially for the Midland team who is fighting everyone on every list.
And Joseph
makes great work of 245 for his 3rd attempt.
All Midland lifters right now. This is as good of a moment as any. Another Midland.
And another one. And another one.
Here comes Callie. 182.5.
Let's go, Callie. Can she lock in? Come on, big wedge.
Come on, Callie.
Oh, my goodness.
Pull it.
Oh.
A little up and down.
Oh.
I'm sure that's probably going to get 3 reds.
But that's
However,
a gym PR.
That
was ridiculous. And
Alex fighting for 255. He finally gets the down command.
Holding on for his life, and he's jumping with joy.
Show us.
Looking at the camera, show us your excitement, young man. Amazing work.
Says the college man to the college.
Says the college man to the college man. It's an expression, you know. It's
Come on, man.
Platform 4, we're seeing some attempt changes on the deadlift. Remember, this is the 100 kg men's class. Lawrence Jones, Roan, and Giovanni are neck and neck, with Giovanni pulling first, hoping to push everyone else a little past their limits.
Valeria needs this pull. Up.
Come on, Valeria.
Oh, loses.
Valeria Sanchez with that will go from a 6th projected. And it looks like she will end up in about 7th place after that.
Now, Caitlin here next up. Looking most likely will secure 3rd place here if she hits this 3rd deadlift.
Unless Logan is able to. Actually, yes, you're correct. I'm sorry. If she misses this, Logan could pull to a 2.5. I don't know what their body weights were. It looks like Caitlin came in lighter, so I think Logan will just be pulling for herself, not for a position. So Caitlin here can solidify a win. I think if she misses it, also still going to solidify a win, but
for sure
doesn't make it any less entertaining because this is 195 pounds, 195
kilos,
430
correct.
pounds.
Coming all the way from San Diego State University all the way to College Park, Georgia to make this crazy PR.
Oh,
Come on, Caitlin.
my goodness.
Let's go.
Beautiful pull there.
Anyone hoping for her to miss so they could jockey for position was doing it all for naught. That was incredible. She finishes with an 8 for 9 day. She missed her second squat, said, I don't care. Went up, hit her third. That's, I'm calling 8.5 out of 9 day.
Now Logan going to take this.
Yep, Logan currently
Deadlift.
in 4th place. I think she did a 12 kg jump. She's currently in 5th. If she were to pull this, get into 4th, a little bit more points for the University of Kentucky.
Come on, Logan.
She did miss this on strength. Let's see if her handlers were able to hype her up enough and she can dial in.
Big pull
Logan
here.
needs this.
A little too much for Logan. She finishes right now in 5th place.
207.5 loading on the bar. This is an American Collegiate Deadlift record attempt.
This is Isabella Steiner, who currently is in 1st place. Yep, she's just doing this for fun. She's already secured the win. Nobody pulling after her is going to go ahead of her total. So she's coming out here, gonna ball out. If she misses, gonna go home and be like, oh, whatever.
Whatever.
I won.
I'll go rep this next block.
I won 7 for 9. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's often what happens with collegiates. You have no data, because in 4 months, you can see 50 kilos of progress.
Exactly.
So Isabella coming out here, doing a victory lap. 207.5. That is 457 or 458.
Platform 4, you see the energy shifting. And knowing that this is a record attempt, looking at the weights coming up, the next 2 deadlifts will also be records. We have Sarah and Elizabeth ready to pull something humongous. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Letting the crowd know, not only was that a record, not only is she winning this class, but she has so much more in the tank.
Sarah Wiltshire.
Ridiculous.
Also solidified in 2nd place, coming out here just to maybe get her own record of the day.
Let's see, 210 here.
Come on, Sarah.
This will secure her. I believe 2nd is already locked.
Yep, that is correct.
But the white Power Ranger must pull 210 here.
Must pull 210 and take the American record home with her.
Yup.
Up.
A little too much for Sarah. However, still an incredible day.
Definitely.
2nd place. Like,
So big.
out of, I think it was 36 lifters in your weight class. That is some crazy stuff.
Now Elizabeth here, 12.5 kilo jump. Very big jump here. Will she be
Elizabeth
able to-
would be jumping from 8th place into 6th if she hits this, along with an American record. This is an enormous deadlift for her. Going from 8th to 6th is very dramatic.
And this is to cap off this platform's deadlifts for this session.
She's currently 7 for 8.
And looks like on platform 4, Giovanni there.
Giovanni was not able to finish
lift,
the deadlift.
Hopefully he's all right.
So that leaves for the 100 kilogram men's.
Joshua here, platform 3, sorry to take from you, Ethan, but he is trying to pull into a podium spot.
Come on, Josh.
Unfortunate. Rowan with an attempt change.
An
down
easy American
2.5
record. I'm sorry, UV.
Oh,
An easy American record from Elizabeth on platform 2.
Oh my goodness.
She's so excited about that.
So it looks like Rowan has
Nearly
essentially given
suplexed her
up.
handler there.
Sorry, how big of a jump did he
Here
take?
are the current ranking or the standings for the Raw women's class. Is Texas A&M with 42 points, UTSA with 41 points, Midland with 40 points. That is 1 point difference between Texas A&M and UTSA and Midland.
By the way, in 6th place, the home school of Georgia Tech with 18
Let's
points,
go, Tech.
carried by Juliet Hartman's 3rd place.
Only 6 lifters
Lilia
too, I think.
Bingham's, Lilia Bingham's 8th place, and a bunch of other
And
very
top 10
talented,
finishes. Larry, 285, platform 3, repping UTSA. Easy lift.
So Rowan here just trying to solidify his 2nd place. It looks like Mitchell could.
Come on, Rowan. Oh, the bar slips out of his hand. So close.
And we
So-
have now
On platform, yeah, Zach Fowler on platform 3, if he had made weight, he's now currently I think, sorry. If he hadn't had bombed on bench press, he would be in 3rd place. He did make weight, sorry for that, catching the mistake there. He would be in 3rd place, however, you know, you don't register a total if you don't hit a bench press, so.
Unfortunately.
That
for
is equipped
him.
lifting for
But
you.
there's a grinder on platform 4 with Tillman.
Begging for a down command.